you want.
Honestly, did you ever have a girl or anybody petition you on a bachelorette party to, like, I wore a long, almost like a Nazi jacket, like
Like a big overcoat?
Yeah, a big one down to
Columbine.
and
Swastika.
right.
Yeah.
What do they call those?
The
guys?
overcoat.
Overcoat.
Right,
Trench
but what was
coat.
the trench coat.
Yeah.
Trench coat, yeah.
And I wore this trench coat on stage for Leave Your Hat On, and the women,
Look like the Hamburglar.
the women, yeah, exactly, and the women would actually.
I was Grimace.
I think I had,
Grimace.
I think I had 2 occasions where the women buried their head behind behind my jacket,
Dude, you're pro.
and serviced me orally.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. I guess
I actually had that done.
that's
And it was crazy. I mean, it was.
it's a good reason to wear a trench coat. That's for sure.
Like you're like, I'm never
It was like a
retiring from
woman
this
going
business.
into a voting booth.
Voting booth.
Oh god, that's funny. Oh, that's good.
Hey, for old time's sake, do you ever pull off the trench coat there on Ventura Boulevard at 2 a.m.
With the weights.
With the
With the weights and a jump rope.
Come on, I used to be
Oh,
somebody.
my
This
God,
is
that's
come
funny.
on, come on, God. Why couldn't this be 1987 again?
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. Yeah. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, listen to a pocket party. Pocket party. Durant.
And we're back. Did you have a good 3-day weekend? Did you have fun? Did you relax? Did you go to work on a Monday? Some people had to work, but I went to the big LA County Fair. Man, that was pretty cool. I'm going to get to that in a second. I want to give a big shout out right now to, I got a couple new reviews on iTunes, and as you know, it's easy to do. It's really quick. 5 stars, reviews, helps the podcast get more visibility and brings it up higher in those rankings. So shout out to Fast and Furious George. I love what he says. The great thing about this podcast is that the conversations are unforced and natural, tipping between hilarious, serious, and poignant, without any sense of Carter having to steer the dialogue in any direction. He's a natural interviewer, which I've worked on. It's really hard to do that, but I figured out. I'm getting better at it, I will say, but thank you. He's a natural interviewer, and it's great that because of his background as a comic, you get to sit in on conversations with fellow comedians who share insight on their craft and their life. Always a great listen, never boring. Thank God. I love it. Also, here's one from Jazz310LBC. Darren Carter is funny. We saw him at the Long Beach Laugh Factory, and I love this podcast. So, like I said, guys, if you want to give a review on iTunes, it helps tremendously. What else can I tell you? Big shout out to the Thai Room. If you're ever in Burbank, go to 821 North Hollywood Way, Burbank, California. Go to the Thai Room. Tell them you want the Darren Carter Friends Special. Tell them you heard it on the Pocket Party podcast, okay? Have some dates coming up. October 4th, I'll be at the Veterans Memorial Hall in Solvang, California. Solvang, California. If you're there or near there, come on up. I'll be there with Tarun Shetty. It'll be awesome. You know him from an earlier episode on this podcast. October 19th and 20th, Dead Crow in North Carolina. And November 8th, 9th, and 10th, I'll be in Reno. November 23rd, 24th, I'll be at Dicicco's in Clovis, California. And December 14th, 15th, 16th, Tommy T's in Sacramento, which I love. I love going up there, especially when it gets cold, because LA gets so hot that when you go there, you're like, whoa, I'm in a different part of the country, even though it's still California. It's cold enough to wear like beanies and sweatshirts and jog. I jog more. It seems like I jog better when it's cold because I'm like, oh yeah, I got to keep moving. Shout out to Lee Meyerhofer, Rems, Keith Brower, Jordan Brady. Jordan Brady's cool, man. He directs commercials. He's awesome, dude. Thanks for retweeting my pinned tweet, Jordan Brady. Thank you so much. Caesar Jesus Garcia, big shout out. You just joined the Pocket Party podcast forum on Facebook, and I'm like, it was by a serendipity. Right as I'm recording this, I'm like, ding, got a notification. So thank you, Caesar. Appreciate that. Anybody can do that. If you're listening to this, go to Facebook, look for Pocket Party Podcast Forum, and be a part of the group. Anything that we're talking about on this podcast, we want this to be a place on the internet to, inspirational, fun, no politics, leave that at the door. We just want to make it a vacation for your mind, you know what I mean? And hopefully add a little something to your life. Speaking of which, I've been on this journey to lose weight, get in the best shape of my life. Let's see what we can do. But the hard part for me is the nutrition part. I mean, I can be pretty good, but I'm a human being and I'm weak. I'm trying to get over that. But the good news is, I got on the scale and I was actually under 200 pounds. I weighed 199.5. 199.5. Better not have a drink of water, right? I drink my water. Damn it, I'm probably up to 200. But I want to do this. And you know what? I kickstarted. And if you guys want to do this, do it with me. I started doing 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups a day. Because I figure, why not? Why not do it? Did you guys see that story going around? It was a viral video. 99-year-old man, Korean war vet, walking 6 miles round trip to go see his wife in the hospital. He refuses rides from his daughter. He's like, no, I don't need a ride. I want to walk. Gets my mind right. And he visits his wife. It's great, man. Look it up. Look up 99-year-old man visiting his wife. He does push-ups before he goes. He walks 3 miles, and then right when he gets to the hospital, he starts jogging. He runs. I mean, what a life, huh? We can do it. You just got to put your mind to it. Here's the thing I've been doing: turning the kitchen light off at night. It tells my brain, cook's gone home. Kitchen is closed. My buddy was like, yeah, but my brain tells me where the light switch is. And also that there's a backup. It's almost like a parachute. There's a backup light in the refrigerator. I'm like, boy. We always find a reason to do something like that. But, so yeah. What else can I tell you? I flew out to Dallas. So the day I got on the scale, I weighed 199.5. I flew to Dallas, had my oatmeal, had my protein bar, land in Dallas, get off the plane, go straight to the hotel, have about 40 minutes to get ready, didn't get a chance to eat, go straight to the gig. Guess what? It was sponsored by In-N-Out Burger. So they gave away 1,500 hamburgers to everybody. And in the dressing room, of course, there was burgers. And I was like, I tried to justify it and be like, well, they're not doubles. I mean, they're singles. And, there's a lot of lettuce and it's kind of like a salad, come on. But you got to stop doing that. But I'm going to try to do it. My goal is to get down and back into the 180s and maybe beyond, but we'll see for sure. I do want to get into the 180s. I want to make it happen. All right. I'm saying it right here on the Pocket Party podcast. I'm going to do it. All right. September 1st, I weighed 199.5. By October 1st. What should I weigh October 1st? I'm almost afraid to say it. I'm afraid to say in 1 month I'll lose 10 pounds. That might be too much, huh? Definitely by November 1st. November 1st, I will weigh 189.5. I will be in the 180s. I will do it. I'm going to keep posting that. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. Because I think we need to encourage each other. Even if you want to make fun of me, it's cool. I don't care. It's like, I've had people tell me, thank you for posting that. I know it can be annoying to some people, but I'm like, listen, I follow a lot of motivational people on Instagram and it gets me going. When I feel depressed or like I need to work out and I look at what they're doing, I'm like, damn it, I need to be out there. I need to do it. I need to get it going. Get your mind right, get your body right, make it happen. Read this great article on a thing called Assitude. It's hilarious, right? Like attitude called Assitude. And basically, you could set an alarm on your phone throughout the day where you get up and you shake and you kind of dance around to some music and it changes your levels of happiness and your mood and your productivity. The positive emotions generated by shaking/movement of the gluteus maximus muscles and hip flexors. Scientific study of shaking one's ass as pertains to one's joyous feelings. That was coined by Joseph McClendon, who spoke at a Tony Robbins seminar. A friend sent this to me. But it's, I'm always trying to find out how can we, listen to this. These energy and productivity drivers, okay? is motivation, self-talk, focus, and physiology. And doing that gratitude list, literally, like I had a friend that was a little bit depressed. I did a gig with him recently over a girl. And I said, listen, man, make a little list, five things every night. Write it out or say it out loud. Just 5 things you're thankful for, 5 things you're grateful for. And it'll definitely change your mood. It'll make you realize, like, wow, I have it pretty good. It does work, man. Write your 5 things in the Pocket Party Podcast forum. If you're embarrassed, just write a couple things. Oh, yeah. I think I did this before, and somebody messaged me, I'm thankful there's other podcasts I can listen to when it gets too positive. I think that was Rems. All right. We got a good one today, and we're going to get into it. You're going to love it. My guest, he had this wild idea to go out and be a male dancer to make money. You'll hear the whole story. It's great. We're like, we'll do it. We'll move to L.A., and we'll see how that worked out. Oh, today we went to the L.A. County Fair, saw Casey and the Sunshine Band. You know those guys, right? Shake your booty, shake your booty, shake, shake, shake. They were really good. They were really good, man. He was self-deprecating, told some jokes. He's like, I'm 67 years old. How did this happen? He's like, and I haven't been keeping up on my diet. Look at my weight. And he actually said this. I'm not kidding. He goes, I know you're thinking, hey, it's KFC in the Sunshine Band. I love when performers can be self-deprecating and be real with you, right? He goes, I'm 67. He goes, but you know what, though? Some of you might be like, who is Casey in the Sunshine Band? Maybe you're here with your mom. He goes, I'm your mom's Justin Bieber. Your mom's in sync. He goes, and Justin Timberlake, he's going to look like me in 30 years. I thought that was pretty funny, man. That was really good. Next came on Kool and the Gang. And the thing I don't like about bands is when the original members aren't there. I get it, maybe 1 or 2, but come on, man. Like I want to say there's like a 9-piece band, only 1 original member. Dude, come on. That was not Kool in the Gang. It's like, and they were doing band introduction. No, this guy, his brother plays in the Roots. And sometimes he plays with them. And I'm thinking, like, plays with the Roots or plays with his brother? Like in the garage at holidays? I mean, what's going on here? What's really going on? That'd be like if you were to see a Salt and Pepper, and it's like it's not really salt and pepper. It's like salt and paprika. Some 20-year-old girl who's like, I'm gonna twerk now. Push it, push it real good. I don't want to see salt substitute and pepper. I want to see salt and pepper. It's Huey Lewis and the Fake News. Like, how would you feel about seeing Journey with not the lead singer? If it's not Steve Perry, is it really Journey? For some people it is. They're like, it's cool, I get it, I like it, it's that sound, I don't know. You want to have that assitude. The assitude. All right, we're going to get into it right now. Enjoy the podcast. You guys are great. Please give me a 5 stars and a review on iTunes. It helps tremendously. Share this podcast on Facebook, on Twitter, go to my YouTube channel, whatever you guys can do. I don't want to give you too much work, but I'm just saying, if you can, it's the pinned tweet on my Twitter. If you don't do that, it's fine. Facebook, you know what I'm saying. Share these links, get this thing out there. You guys are awesome. If you want to be a supporter, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can buy my albums on iTunes or wherever you got. I got 4 albums. There's actually a place to donate to the podcast. If you look in the details, you'll see the little link, and you can do like a monthly donation there if you'd like, and I'll give you shout outs and plug your businesses or whatever. Anyways, you guys are awesome. We're going to get into the podcast right here, right now.
Everybody listen to Darren Carter. We all know he's the party starter. So if you want to listen to a podcast for free, then listen to The Pocket Party.
That's right. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Oh, man, this is cool. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. This is my buddy, Peter Marr. And you know him from Dana Carvey's First Impressions. This is hilarious because when I met Peter, how tall are you?
6'2".
He's 6'2". and we quickly became friends. And this is funny to me because he's a very attractive man, very good-looking guy.
Shucks, Darren.
And some people don't know how to put that into words, which is hilarious to me because I took Peter to the Hollywood Improv. And by the way, you used to be a model and actor, and you still do
Back
that,
in the day.
but back in the day, for real, back in the day.
Yeah, that was my bread and butter for a while.
Put the mic a little bit closer.
That was my bread and butter for a while. I also did voiceover for
But what's hilarious to me is when I took you to the Hollywood Improv on the Mobetta Monday nights, which is the quote unquote urban night, and everyone's black pretty much, and I walk in with my red hair or whatever. Now it's gone, it's bald, and to me I'm the comedic white guy. Hey, what's up, funny man? What's up, Red? Non-threatening, blah blah blah. But there must have been 2 or 3 people that looked at you and they're like, man, they didn't know how to put it into words. They were like, you look like a Superman. And then we walk away and then somebody, man, anybody, who you look like?
I think
Superman.
I think somebody called me Smallville.
Smallville?
One was Smallville, and I hope he was talking about Superman. And then the other one was straight up Superman.
Straight up Superman. So it's hilarious. So then but you're just friends with someone. You don't really notice that. And then I remember the first time. I love my wife. This is hilarious, Jeannie. This is a compliment. This is hilarious. But we hung out for a little bit, and then you left, and she's like, "Oh, homie," she sounds like Marr. She goes, "You didn't tell me your friend was good looking." I'm like, "Yeah, but no offense to my other friends, but
Darren, you're going to build confidence in me if you keep talking."
I know,
that.
but it's hilarious. The reason I'm setting this all up is what's great is you told me that you and your buddy back when you were in your 20s. This is 23 years ago. How old are you? 40 something.
44.
44. That's right. 44.
That's old. That's old.
I remember one time in my acting class. I was the day I turned 44, and there was another guy, and it was like his birthday, like that week. And he goes, "I just turned 44 also." And this girl, she goes, "Oh, 44. I call that a hard 8." I was like, "Oh my gosh."
She was probably looking for 2 hard 8s. You know what
2 hard 8s. I'm like,
couple of 44-year-old guys. That's always hot, isn't it?
Yeah. She's just
From
trying
an
to boost our ego. I know exactly, but so he's a hard 8, ladies.
All right, new scene. Everybody out. This is going to be amazing.
New scene. All right. So here's my point. This is hilarious to me. Like you guys. You hatched this plan. You guys were in Omaha, Nebraska. You and your buddy, both 2 good-looking farm boys, fucking
strapping young lads.
Yeah, out there in the middle of, hey, we're raised on a corn and whatever.
Tell you what.
Corn. I'll tell you what.
Steaks and corn.
So these guys had this plan. You told me about this, and I thought this was hilarious. I go, this should be a movie. You guys are like, let's raise money and move to L.A., but I know how we could do it. We could be strippers.
Should we do a paper out? No.
Yeah.
Should we get a second job?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What about this one?
So you guys were actually male dancers for like 3 months on like a half hour away out in Council Bluffs, Iowa?
So here's the story, and this is going to get, I don't know, it's going to travel into a different place for a second, then it's going to come back. So my friend Brian and I should probably never use his last name, but Brian Courtwright and I, we went downtown. It was actually,
why did you say his last name?
Because he'll love it.
It's a fake last name.
Yeah, fake last name. That's actually real. We went down because for some reason WrestleMania was in Omaha that day. It was like WrestleMania, 18 or something. And Brian's like, dude, let's go see it. I'm like, man, there's no way we're going to get in. We don't have tickets.
Yeah.
Went down there. Place was totally packed. So it was a Sunday afternoon, and Brian said, hey, let's go to a strip club. And I thought, Brian, you're a genius. Let's go. It's Sunday afternoon. What better thing to do than go to a strip club? So nothing in Omaha was open, so we had to go over the river. And if you're familiar with the area, it's basically Omaha sits on the river, the Missouri River next to Iowa, in Omaha, Nebraska, Iowa.
Yeah.
Council Bluffs, Iowa. We cross the river, hit a strip club. So
it sounds like a country song waiting to be written. Once you cross the river, all the clothes come off
and the pasties on.
Hey asshole, take off them tassels. That almost rhymes.
That was close, man. I think by the end of this podcast, we'll have a very good stripper.
So you guys are like, let's go over there, and then
So we get in there, and we're just sitting down, and we're just whatever. We're just killing time. Basically.
Do you remember the name of the strip club back then?
It was called Lipsticks.
Lipsticks.
Yeah. Which will lead to something later. So we're sitting there, and a guy comes up to us, and he says, hey, we're opening a male strip club next door. Would you guys like to audition for it? And we're imagine Sunday afternoon in a strip club. You know, you got the best of the best inside
Hey, you country
that place.
bumpkins.
Yeah.
That's what we
Hey,
look
you
like.
big dumb looking dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, just all you gotta do is give me $100 for the audition
And let me see it right now. And then we took us in the back room.
to a van.
Yeah. The back room was a van with no windows on it. It was
So he was literally like, and were you guys thinking this guy's pulling our chain? This is a scam, or you're thinking like, oh, really? We're in the back of your mind, like, yeah, I knew I work out, yeah.
well, we're 21.
Yeah.
Go to the gym every day. You know, we were in shape, right?
Yeah.
So we get there and we're like, no, you want to do it? No, come on, do it. No, come on, man. You know what? We already had in place. We were
Yeah.
going to move to Houston, Texas within about 3 months
Oh.
of this date. So we already had it. And we thought to ourselves, what better way to raise some extra cash? Because strippers make so much money, right?
Yeah.
They're rich beyond belief. And we were going to leave this place anyway. So it doesn't matter who we embarrass.
Blow off this town. Screw
Yeah,
these people.
screw
We'll never
this
see them
cow
again.
town.
I do.
We're outta
How
here.
many times have you? I don't know if you. I used to say that all the time to myself. I'll never see these people again. And I do stuff that's sort of embarrassing. My friend would be like, "Are you sure, dude? We'll never see these people again. Who cares? Get up on that stage and just do comedy." But it was me. It was just comedy. It was like, doing something wacky. I wasn't
You had
going
your clothes on?
I had my clothes on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so you guys are like, we'll never see these people. And plus,
Yeah.
you're a half hour away. You're like, we're not going to run anybody from church or anything.
Exactly. No, the parents aren't going to know anything about it. Their friends are going to know nothing about it. So after a little debate, we thought, all right, let's do this. So we go ahead and we audition for it. And there was a guy.
That same day.
It was, I want to say it was probably a week later. That
Oh
next
wow!
week.
So you had a week to get nervous.
A week to get really nervous.
A week to lift, to eat extra good and do extra reps on those
yeah,
at the weight
to
at
lean
the gym.
lean down for that week. And
Yeah.
it was one of those
And
things.
was it like a cattle call where you show up and you're like,
no.
was it like, all right, here's 20 idiots that fell for the flyer off the
basically-
telephone pole?
Look, this was the minor leagues of stripping. All right, this is like if you played AAA ball,
Yeah.
whatever the minor leagues for AAA baseball is. That's what we were. Like whoever auditioned basically got the part. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
wow!
And so there was a guy named Ricky, and I'll never forget Ricky. He ran it. He was like a former Chippendale or something like that. Like he knew his stuff. but he, like-
Allegedly.
yeah, but he like blew out his knee or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. For some reason, he was
I lost
always
my scholarship to male dance school. Damn
gonna
it!
throw that football over that mountain.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Wait, I'm sorry, not to interrupt, but did you say the name of the strip club for the females was called? Did you say both names of this?
Not
or
yet.
Not yet. Okay.
So the
Yeah.
strip club for the females was called Lipsticks. That's where you'd go to see boobs. But the place next door, they called Dipsticks. And to give you a time frame, it was called Dipsticks 96.
Oh
It was in
gosh.
1996.
Dips. No.
Dipsticks. We should have called us dipshits because we have no idea.
Lipsticks and dipsticks. That's hilarious.
You park in the parking lot. Guys go in one door. Ladies go in the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever. That's
So
Council
you
Bluffs,
guys,
Iowa.
so you guys are like, all right. So we're gonna do this audition. You and your buddy.
Yeah.
And
I
you're
have
like,
no idea what we were
did you guys roll up there together in the same car?
Oh yeah, yeah. We rolled up in my '88 Toyota truck, 4-wheel drive. That's
And you're like,
that's
you
what
ready,
it's
man? Let's do this. You're all sweaty. Was the audition in the afternoon?
It was at night.
Oh,
But the
God.
best part was is we do this audition, right?
Yeah.
And I
on
don't know.
stage, like there's a
On stage,
stage.
yeah.
Did you decide what you were gonna wear?
Dude, I wore whitey tighties to this audition.
And did you like? Were you like, I should wear shorts so I can pull them off easy? Or
Yeah, and it was just basically if somebody said, "Hey,
Yeah.
do you want to go be a stripper?" What would you do?
I know, like
That's
I
what
know.
we did. We just didn't know what to do, so we
Yeah.
go up.
Did you have music choice? Did you have a song?
9 Inch Nails, baby.
What song was out back
It was,
then? Bang You Like an Animal or whatever.
No, it was that was actually out, but it was I want to say it was the first or second song on the second side of the album. I can't remember. I think it was called Sin. I think that
Oh, was
the
it
one
popular? Was it on the radio?
It was fairly popular.
Yeah.
It was a cool song. Right? It was one that I felt, Darren. This is one that really touched my soul.
What'd your friend pick? Do you even remember what he picked?
Oh my God. I think it was a Motley Crue song. Let's kickstart my heart. Oh my God, you're taking me back, man.
Dude, this is hilarious because I had a friend around that same time period that was like, he was like, by the way, at that time he must have been in his like late 40s. He was probably my age, but so it's just, it's how silly it looks. I know. And at that time he was like, you know what, man, I'm this close to thinking about being a stripper.
Like a
Yeah.
stroller walking out or something
No,
with a cane and a
that's
walker.
what we thought. It was funny because we were like in our 20s, and we're like, but now it's sad because I'm that age. I'm like, God, I'm that.
Darren, your dad's gonna be a stripper.
I
How do you feel
know
about
exactly. Austin, are you listening still? So then I know, which is hilarious because I have 4 comedy albums, and the third one is called "Stay at Home Stripper."
Right.
So my kids known the word stripper for years. Like seriously, it's like
That's funny.
like because I kept hearing that phrase like I'm a stay-at-home mom or or I'm a stay-at-home dad, and so one day I just hit the stage and I was like, yeah, I'm a stay-at-home stripper. Yeah, I pretty much use the mailbox like a stripper pole. Flags up, bags out. Oh yeah. I go. Yeah, green socks and black Crocs or whatever I say. And then one of the punchlines was like, my wife turns on the sprinklers. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm making it rain. So stupid. But anyways, so back to this thing, the stripper club.
So we passed the audition, right?
Yeah. Oh, real quick, my friend. I was gonna tell you real quick.
Oh, yeah.
So he was like,
The old man.
he was like, I'm
stripper.
this close to being a stripper.
How close?
I go, really? Because he doesn't. He goes, you know what? I don't dance. That's not my thing. Which is hilarious because now the guy's like, he's like in his late 60s, and he still goes to Gold's Gym. He's one of those guys for the selfies and shit. But he goes, I go, what are you gonna do? And he goes, this song came on at the gym the other day, and I think it'd be the perfect song.
Oh, no.
And it was that song by Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Relax.
Go to it
Oh, my
when you
gosh.
want to go to it.
Classic
Relax,
tune.
go to it. And he goes, because there's that one line in there. He goes, when you want to come.
Wow,
When you want.
that's-
That's what stuck out to him. He's like, he goes, have you ever seen me skip rope? That's what he tells me.
Ooh,
I go,
tell me
no.
about it, Darren.
So his idea was he was going to go out there with and skip rope, and that was going to turn the ladies on. But
Oh my God, we had actually one guy kind of like that. He was a
Yeah.
little bit older. He was yoked out, and
Yeah.
all he did was he would come out and flex. It was like a Mr. Universe pageant.
oh my god,
And he was the kind of guy
I'm
who would,
Lee Haney.
yeah, exactly. And he
Yeah.
would eat like little protein bites backstage. Just,
Oh, my
I'm like,
gosh.
dude, get over it.
I'm Dorian Yates. I'm trying to think of famous bodybuilders from that era.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dorian Yates. That was the
Dorian
guy.
Yates, Lee Haney, Franco Colombo or something
Columbo,
like that. Colombo? Not
Yeah,
Franco
and there was
Colombo.
the guy who did the.
Of course, Arnold, and then
Yeah.
Lou Ferrigno. And
Yeah, so we passed the audition, right? And so
wait, go back to this because I loved hearing the thing. So are you wearing jeans? Are you wearing shoes? Are you wearing shorts? Or
Yeah, for that, to be honest with you, I can't remember. For the audition, I think I went down to whitey tighties. And that was about it.
that's as far as you went.
about as far as I
And it's just you and one guy that's judging you guys. Like
Yeah, they had like a
And a
panel.
DJ or
There
something?
was
Oh, a
like the
panel?
owner of the club,
Yeah.
the DJ, and Ricky, who was the
Oh
guy
my
who kind of
gosh.
ran and choreographed all of our stupid little dances and everything.
Oh my god!
and
They,
then-
the reason I asked about the thing because when I was in San Diego, I was at a club and then this guy was telling me I got there early or something, and I guess like on their dark nights they had male dance review or something, and the guy's like, oh man, he tells me, he goes, Darren, you gotta, man, the stuff I see, it's hilarious. He goes, these guys come in here for the auditions, and he was telling me about the auditions, and he said this one thing that just, I don't know, I got this visual, I just cracked up. He said that this one guy, these people were just, it's probably like open micers, like how we look at comedy open micers, but it's open mic.
the open mic of
It's
stripping.
like open mic stripper, right? There's like a bucket list and shit. No. Oh, they chose me. He said this.
I'm only
one-
30 pounds overweight, but I can do
Exactly. I can do this.
this. My mom says I'm husky. I think I
Desperate.
can do this.
Yeah. I'm this close to taking it off, bro. Yeah.
So close, man.
This roommate pisses me off. I'm moving on my own. But no, he said this one guy pulled his jeans, pulled him down, but he left his shoes on. And he said he couldn't get his jeans over his shoes. And so then he was like it just, the visual of that, like the guy on his back trying to kick the legs and trying to look sexy, but then the shoes are, you know what I mean?
Was he doing sexy kicks though?
I don't know. He just said that the thing, it looked
That's
hilarious. He
horrible.
goes, the guy, he goes, he left his sneakers on and he's trying to pull his jeans over his sneakers. We're weird, man.
Oh.
See, women don't have to do much. They just got to kind of slowly move around to a song and it's like, that's it. Guys
That's
are
it.
like, nah, we don't care.
Yeah.
They could even be voluptuous, right? Or what's that word when they're overweight?
Voluptuous.
Voluptuous, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I will say, there is a difference between a male strip club and a female strip club because, like in a strip club, I don't know if you've ever been, Darren. I don't want to, assume that you've ever been, but I assume you've never been to a strip club.
Tell us, what's it like?
But you can go in there and they're like, "Don't touch the ladies, don't
Yeah.
touch da-da-da." Male strip clubs, they can touch you all they want, man. Like there were times where I felt like a sack of meat in a tiger cage at the zoo. I swear
Oh,
to God.
yeah.
Yeah. You had to kind of watch yourself actually, because farm girls they didn't.
They're just like, come here, and they're just like, oh, grabby, and you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're just.
I don't want to say I'm a victim, Darren,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Me
But
too. No, that
Yeah,
was horrible.
you're just like
Shouldn't
trying
say
to
that.
like, I just want to clock in and make my hourly wage.
And you know what's funny is like going into it, we had this idea where we're like, haha, we're gonna be strippers. This is gonna be hilarious. And then you actually have that moment when you get there and you're like,
I gotta clock in and fill out the W-9.
I feel like, you just feel like you're just that guy. You know?
Okay, really walk us through this. So you did the audition.
So we do the audition. We pass.
Yeah, the same day he was like, so do you know, because in Hollywood when you audition, you don't know him for like a week and then or whatever. And
I think
then
he told us. He told us that night, if I remember.
Hey,
it was
can you
that
guys
night or the
start
next
Thursday?
day. Yeah,
That kind of
basically.
shit.
It's like, hey, we open Friday. Come on in. We have
We
have
open
some
Friday.
rehearsals.
Yeah, rehearsals. Oh my god.
Yeah. So what the funniest part was they did.
You know how there's like when a restaurant opens, but not really to the public. It's called a soft opening.
Heyo.
Did you guys do that? It's a soft opening, fellas, but don't take it literally if you know what I mean.
But if I ever open a strip club, I will have a hard opening. Heyo, waka waka. But the best part was we had, all right, and it's almost like, God, you know what? Stripping and stand-up are so similar because you have the auditions, you have the open mics, and then you have bar shows. So we had the club and we had to do a bar show just to kind of prove that we could.
Oh, not the main stage, just like that. Let's practice over here, this part of the club, not the main.
It wasn't even that. It was like
Yeah.
Ricky had a spot downtown Omaha that, it was
different
like
club.
we could do stripper stuff that night or whatever.
Yeah.
So we go in there, and I remember vividly.
We're the Thunder from down under.
No, we were the dipshits from Council Bluffs. I think that place is still open too. I should do a little research. So I remember we were there, and it's all a blur. I think I probably tried to block it out, but I remember specifically Brian, my friend Brian. There was like a post, like a square post
at the bar, not the main dipsticks bar, but the before it opens.
Yeah, it was just some random bar downtown.
Yeah,
and I remember specifically Brian. It was a booth next to a table, and that table had like a square, 4x4 post holding the building up. He tries to swing around and he has these cowboy boots on, and he kicks a pitcher and 2 glasses of water all over these 2 girls.
He's all clumsy.
Oh yeah. It was the and it's, if you know Brian, you know that's exactly who he is.
I'm a cowboy.
And when he sings, he's all falsetto. He's like, "In the steel who's all right."
Sorry about your pitcher of beer, ladies.
Hilarious. So that was that. And then opening night, we actually had 3 or 4 choreographed sketches that we had to do. And then
sketches?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean sketches?
Like dances, man. Like, we all had to go out and do choreographed
all
dances.
together.
Yeah.
Like, we wear short shorts.
Basically.
Or like
that was
the
one
rock,
of them, Darren. Were you there?
The Rockettes or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Now, what did you guys have? Did you have to play? No, let me ask you this. What were the sketches? Do you remember any of the sketches?
Well, there was one that was the opening one where we all get up and then he introduces our names. And I remember, and this may take you back a little bit, I had bought a brand new pair of Z Cavarici pants.
Yeah.
Thinking I was going to be sexy.
Yeah.
And I bought them at like what would be the equivalent of a Ross today.
Yeah. What was it called? Woolworth or something?
You know what? It was
Montgomery
some
Ward?
random one-off shop.
Oh, it wasn't even like
It was like discount clothes.
You didn't go down to the Sears or something.
Sears would have been
skins.
awesome if we could have gotten it. So we go down there, and I remember there was this move where you had to drop to one knee, drop to the other. You know, it's like a
like a New Kids on the Block type of
yeah,
move.
it was exactly like that.
Yeah.
It was pretty New Kids, but it was exactly that. And I remember the first time I dropped my right knee, my leg on my left side just splits wide
Oh no!
open.
And the crowd goes wild. Yeah.
It was full house, packed house.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and it was a little embarrassing. So that was the
Quick,
start
bring out
of
the
it.
jump rope or relax. Go to it when you want to come.
Wait, where's the old guy?
I know. I doubt he could actually jump rope for that entire song. You got to be in shape to jump rope for like 5 minutes.
That's
straight.
a solid 5 minutes, man.
Yeah.
How long can you jump rope for?
I mean, I take.
Because I see you're killing it at the boxing gym. Man.
I do it 3 minutes, and then I take the 30-second break, and then I do the 3 minutes, and I take the 30-second break. But I see these real boxers.
Yeah.
They're like, they sometimes ignore the break, and then they do doubles, like where you're going. They're like, where you throw it,
double,
and then they're crossing their arms, and then they're going. And if I'm doing those double unders, and I get like, let's say my, like 30. Let's say I get 31 in a row, right? And the reason I say 31 is because that was one of my high.
Nobody's ever gone to 32.
No, because that was one of my high scores one time. I got 31 jumps in a row, double unders. And the reason I remember is because I went outside to catch my breath, and there was a Baskin Robbins right across the street.
Wow.
And I was like, 31, wow, and that's 31 flavors. This is a sign from the universe. But yeah, I used to be totally out of breath. Now I'm not as out of breath when I
Well, that's
do
good,
that.
man.
You know, but those guys are like just
Yeah.
going.
Those guys are nuts. Did
Yeah.
you work at that Baskin Robbins? Was that the one you worked
I worked at a different Baskin Robbins. And if you guys have heard my third album, I think, I talk about my first job. I worked at Baskin Robbins, and I got fired for licking my fingers. Yeah. Like father, like
Your
son.
fingers,
My
yeah.
my fingers. They
Your
were my
fingers,
fault. Yeah, they were my fingers, yeah. I remember one time this guy came in. You know those little spoons at Baskin Robbins, the little
Pink ones?
pink ones, and you got to give people a sample. And the guy goes, it was really creepy, and he goes, can I try that one? And I'm like, or whatever, and I go, yeah, sure. And then he goes, my hands are full, can you feed it to me?
What?
So I had to like scoop
Was
it.
this Fresno?
Fresno, man.
Oh, well,
I
I
know.
guess
So I
that's
remember like
typical.
I did it like once, and then I was like, I gotta go to the back. It's like I'm like, this is weird. Like, you know.
Did he follow you into the back?
No.
My
But
hands are full.
the reason
need to-
I knew I really did lick my fingers. I'm an idiot. You know, it was my first job, and I remember I didn't really
But
lick
it's
my
a funny
fingers.
bit, dude.
I don't know if I licked my finger. I think I licked my arm. I think this stuff ran down my arm, and I was like, this is good. Cookie dough. I never had that. You know, because when I was a kid, we just used to get the basic flavors, right? You know, like chocolate, vanilla, maybe strawberry, and or mint.
Neapolitan.
Yeah, that
mint.
one. What's the German mint chocolate? Or is that? No, I'm thinking of German chocolate cake. No, mint chocolate chip.
Oh.
It's green.
Fancy.
That one. That was our fancy ice cream. But when I went to when I got that job at Baskin Robbins, they had like pralines and cream and like stuff that I never had before. And I was like, wow. It was just
Did light shine on you when you walked in the door? It was
the
like,
cookie dough. I mean, that was my first job, and it was like, and it was very. I mean, I didn't have common sense at that age.
Dude.
I remember wiping down the counter, and then lady, she got mad at me. She's like, "You don't use the same sponge on the counter that you do on the floor." And I was like, "See, now I'm like, yeah, no shit." But at that 16, I was like, my brain isn't fully developed yet. You know how I know I got fired? Because they had the schedule, and then I wasn't on it for like 2 weeks. And then finally I was like, Mr. Martin, how come I'm not on the schedule? Well, you were spotted licking your fingers. And
He didn't tell you 2 weeks before?
yeah, I know. And that guy was a creep. This is before they had cameras. They
Screwed
have
Mr.
cameras
Martin.
everywhere. They have
Yeah.
cameras like, you can, even now, like, your boss could be at home and then like pull up the Ring or whatever. I don't know what it's called. Like these things. They can look on their cell phones and spy on the
Right.
employees. Well, this is the 80s. So he would sit in the parking lot with binoculars. And like, and we're all lit up inside the
That's not
Baskin Robbins.
creepy
I know that's
either.
extra creepy,
Yeah.
right? You were spotted licking your fingers.
But it is Fresno.
Yeah, I know. Well, who spotted me? I did. I was in my station wagon. He used to have a green station wagon. He was that was the first time.
It was a Griswold station wagon. Right?
yeah. I remember it was just, much like your male dance thing. We had to do like sort of an audition, and then I remember we went to the guy's, him and his wife's apartment.
What?
And then he gave us like a little orientation, and he goes, it was the first time I'd ever heard the expression, "Welcome aboard." Welcome aboard.
Wow.
Meaning we
Part
got
of the team.
Yeah, we got the job. I was like, wow, I never heard that. So in walked Dr. Dean Larit.
Dr.
Dean, podcast
Dr.
gold.
Dean. What's up,
Podcast
buddy?
gold.
How you doing, man?
We're doing good. So Peter's right in the middle of this great story about
Darren licking his fingers.
Yes. But just hang loose and join us in a second. Enjoy your meal.
Look at
So-
you eating all healthy.
So here's the thing. Peter was a male dancer. He's telling me this wonderful story, and Dr. Dean.
I did it.
Hold on. I know you can just say it real quick. You worked for Chippendales, right?
I worked with the Chippendales guys
In New York City.
So I would pick them up at around midnight, 11:30 midnight on a Friday and Saturday night, usually Saturday night. I would take them to Sayreville, New Jersey, Norwalk, Connecticut, Staten Island, at Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, Long Island, and me and a partner of mine, we ran the little troupe, and we called it a troupe, I guess. And and it was great. We'd have 450 to 500 women waiting for us in a club at
we're laughing because
at
he
midnight.
he did his in Council Bluffs, Iowa, and I
yeah.
was like the AAA minor league.
Oh my God! Yeah.
You were like the real deal.
we had-
come on, man. This is no, we can't hear you on this mic. So go ahead and enjoy your food,
wish we had
and we'll act like he's
500.
not even here. And I'm gonna go back to you, Peter.
I
So
wish we had 500 women waiting
I
for us.
know.
Oh, we had, like on a typical night, and this is This is a typical night.
Yeah.
Maybe 30.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe 30. But we had a few regulars in there. You know, right? Sorry. Yeah, keep eating.
What are you eating there? What do you got
What do you
there?
got?
How did you get into it, by the way?
He's telling us all. Do me a favor. Act like-
WrestleMania
Yeah.
is what got me into it.
Yes. So I'll talk to Peter because I want you to finish your food, and then because they can't really, you know what I mean, the whole microphone. Okay, so there we are.
Yeah, here we are. So we did the audition. We passed. We did the little bar show. Brian kicked the beer over everybody. And then it's opening night.
Opening
right?
night.
We do our first intro sketch. We had to do like music numbers and everything. And, my pants ripped all the way open. And this is kind of contradictory for me because I'm a little bit shy sometimes. I don't like taking my clothes. I'm just not that guy, right? Which is making the nudist story sound pretty fun right now. So I'm nervous as all get out. I know I'm leaving in 3 months. I don't give a crap. I don't care. I'm leaving. I don't care, but I'm still nervous.
Hell
So
yeah, I'd be nervous too.
Yeah.
It's all good and you're before like yeah man, I'm gonna be desired by women and money and then when it comes out, how many songs do you have to prepare?
I had to prepare 2. I only had 2 that I had to
Two
work with.
dances.
2 dances.
And they got to
that's
be
it.
different, right? That you can't do the same dance for the second time.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they would do a thing.
Do you remember
night.
your 2 songs?
Yeah, one was it was Sin by 9 Inch Nails, and then I had another one. It was like a White Zombie remix of.
I am more human than human.
No, it was a Thunder Kiss 65 remix that KMFDM did, and I remember that just because it hit.
I have no-
Yeah,
Was that
exactly.
popular in
Wah,
Iowa?
wah,
I don't know
wah,
what the hell that
wah.
was. Like, it was a Thunder
Somebody
Kid.
out there knows what I'm talking about.
It was.
And
It was
then-
Elvis Presley's remix. You know that one that a little less talk, a lot more action. It was like that came around that same time,
yeah,
like a techno kind of thing where they pumped up Elvis.
yeah, but it wasn't that.
Yeah.
But what they would do is like if you had a birthday or a bachelorette party, they would bring you up, and I'm sure you guys did this too, where they blindfold them and then you do
God.
the dance and you just shake in front of them and all that stuff. And we had one guy whose ball would pop out every night
On
I don't know if you
purpose?
guys
Was
just
that-
no, I don't think so. But he would just come back and be like, "Hey, man."
He was the MC.
He was the guy who
he was
ran the place.
He was the valet.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it was like I said, it was.
Did you use your real name or did you go?
No,
you're like,
you know my.
well, let me.
Have
let
I
me
told
get-
you this
No,
yet?
I don't know, but I'm guessing you didn't. If it was me, I would not go with a real. I'd go with a 1-syllable name.
What would your name be?
Brick or some shit. I don't know. Like
Snake. Dawn.
See, it's already embarrassing. I'd be embarrassed to even come up with a fake name. Piston. Dipsticks.
Drive shaft.
Axle.
Axle.
What name?
mine was-
No. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Okay.
What letter did it start with?
J.
J. So
And it was a popular movie around that time.
Jack.
No.
Wait,
it was
wait.
more than one syllable.
Dean, are you trying to guess over there?
Juice.
No.
Jaws.
That's a good name. Shit. I probably would have made more money if I had Jaws.
Jumanji.
It was a 3-word name.
Jumping Jack
Ja-
Flash.
Close.
Jumping Jack off. It's jumping jerk.
Jumping jack off, Bob.
It's jumping jerk off. Bring out the guy with the jump rope. Relax. Go to it when you want to go.
7 minutes of this. What?
7 minutes. Some idiot
jump
doing-
rope.
Some guy doing Pilates and shit up there.
The 7-minute version of
What mo-
safety dance.
What? Doot, 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 doot. By the way, real quick, we'll get back to your stripper story. I got to
Yeah.
say, I saw an 80s concert. I got to see that group.
What? Men without
Yes,
hats?
Men Without Hats. I saw them at not the Hollywood Bowl. What's the other one? It's in Griffith Park.
Palladium- Oh, the Greek Theater. Yeah.
The Greek Theater, yes. And so the first act comes out, and I'm walking on sunshine. And the sun's still out a little bit, and then the next act comes out. It was this guy, Paul something.
Simon?
No, from the 80s. Paul, I don't know. He's from England and refined. And yes. What is it? Do that again. How'd you do that again? Same as,
I know who.
but it's.
And
it was-
you want her, and she
No, it
wants
wasn't
you.
that guy.
Wrong person.
I think so. I think that's the wrong person.
Good try, Dean.
No one is to blame. Anyways, but no. So the second act, the sun's going down a little bit more, but that guy's mellow. The third act comes out. It was that group that sings I'll stop the world and melt with you. What are they called? The English beat
English
or the beat?
I think,
or,
yeah.
I'll stop the world.
If we only had a device that could find out
I
the
know.
answer right
Can you
now,
look it up? Can you
what
look it
would
up?
be?
Or should I look it up? Anyway, so that
Anyway.
hold on. Who's saying I'll stop the world and melt with you? Hold on.
I'm going to say English.
It was recorded by Modern English.
Modern
Oh,
English.
Modern
Damn,
English.
You had half of it right.
It was hilarious. Yeah. The modern English beat. But anyway, so that guy comes out. So now he did the third act, and they're wearing all white. It was hilarious because he goes, are we having a good time? And the crowd's like, yay. Then how about some fucking enthusiasm?
Wow.
And we're
Bitter.
like, yeah. And then they whip out their guitars. Mm. I mean, it was hilarious because it wasn't like Metallica or Def Leppard or Van Halen or a group that rocks. It's like 80s keyboard, you know.
They go into their melody.
Yeah. So anyway, Men Without Hats comes out, and it's great because they don't make the crowd wait at all. He walks right up to the microphone. You can dance if you want to. You can
Wow.
take just doot. It's awesome.
Instant orgasm. is what
Instant. It was like, you can dance if you want to, and then you leave.
Hey.
Yeah, but they saved that version for the end. Yeah,
Shut
they
the
do the
front
shortened
door.
version.
They bookend the whole thing with
The safety dance. Yeah, and then they do like a couple other things like "Pop Goes the World," "Pop Goes the
Wow.
World," and then they
You guys go see 80s bands from time to time, don't you?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
and then
pretty cool.
And then it was so cool, man.
And
And
you
then of
bring
course Austin plays
Austin,
keyboards, and it's like he can
stuff's
jam and
timeless.
do the stuff. He plays the '80s music. It's great, and other music too. But he can,
He's getting good.
getting
He's
real
getting
good.
I
It's
saw
cool,
the-
right?
Yeah, I saw the
thank you.
theme songs he's been doing.
Oh yeah, where he dresses up. He's been dressing up like Spider-Man and doing the Spider-Man theme song and Star Wars Darth Vader.
No, I haven't seen that one.
He did. Anyways, so yeah, the safety dance. He did
Safety
the
dance,
Safety
yes.
dance. But yeah. So anyways, so back to the stripper
Yes.
store. So there you are.
So here we are. We did the opening night. We did that. So
You
yeah,
did a
and
little
then
sketch, your choreography.
little sketches. And
Oh,
then
what
we
name
had-
did you go with? You never told
Oh,
us.
yeah.
Three names. Starts
Three
with
names,
J. It was
starts
a
with
movie
J.
back then.
J. John.
I have no idea.
Johnny Be Good.
Oh.
And this is how Ricky would bring me up because Ricky was the MC. And while the last sketch, because we'd do a sketch,
Yeah.
a single, a sketch, a single, a sketch, a single, and he'd after the last sketch, he'd be like, "Hey, girl, have you been good? You being good, girl?" And then after about a month or so, they kind of knew what was going on, so you'd start hearing a few of them start saying, "Oh my God, Johnny's coming out!" And it fills your ego up for a minute until you get out there, and then you go out there in your banana hammock and do your thing.
You didn't go out to like Chuck Berry's Johnny Be Good?
No.
Down in
No.
Louisiana, down in
No, it wasn't my thing, man. How are you gonna jiggle it to that?
Johnny Be Good.
It's a lot of bounce in that.
Here
one.
he is, the big bopper.
Big bumper. And
Chantilly lace and a pretty face and a ponytail just a hanging down. Remember that song? A wiggle and a walk and a giggle and a talk. Oh, make the world go round. There ain't nothing. Can you imagine some guys dancing to that? He's doing like the curly shuffle.
In the 90s, in 96, somebody is out there
Judge
doing
like it's the 50s.
some fucking doo-wop song. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse there.
Doo-wop-oo, Do 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 do. Sha-na-na-na. Oh, I'll take off my bobby socks, ladies.
Oh, we should have done the Blues Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys do
Boom.
that?
Rubber biscuit. Mo 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 mo. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Anyway, so yeah, we did that for a couple of months, and then to be honest with you, it kind of phased out. And like we thought, we had these hopes and dreams. We went in.
Did they
thinking,
did they put how much money would you guys make a night?
Here's the thing.
Tell
Not
us.
a lot.
Really?
Not a lot. Yeah. It was. You'd walk out of there with. I mean, some nights it was $100. Some nights it was $200, $300.
Yeah.
Some nights it was like $30.
Wow.
I mean, it really varied. It was almost like being a bartender.
Are they throwing it on the stage or they're putting it in your shorts?
putting it in your shorts, man? You gotta go work for it. They're not gonna give it to you for free. You gotta
Oh my God.
put some effort into it.
Do you
know
find
what I'm
women when they did that were they loose with the money or were they kind of cheap or what was the deal?
saying? They would do that thing. I'm sure, Dean, you're gonna know about this, where they go, and they take it up to you, and then they'd bring it right back.
Oh,
and they'd Put it over
really?
into their bra, and you'd have to like dig your face
Oh,
into it and get it
God.
out there. And then the thing that you'd really make money at, were they'd call the club and they'd
Yeah.
ask for one or two dancers to go do like a bachelorette party
Mm-hmm.
or a birthday party, and then you'd go out, and then there was a set amount you'd get for the party, and then whatever tips you'd make off of that. So that was kind of where you made it, but the club was almost like where you'd showcase your.
Was it all white guys?
No,
in Iowa?
no, it was there was 2 black guys, and the rest were white guys actually.
Because I wonder, like, because I bet you, I think a black strip club scene is going to be totally different than what you're describing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
You
think
know.
any
from
strip
what I've
club
seen,
scene
like,
would
yeah.
be different than
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
describing, because what I'm describing doesn't seem to fare as well as every other story I've heard about
Yeah.
anybody stripping. Like if, like I said, man, this
And what's
was,
it like now? I wonder, because you're naming like
Dude, this
rock songs and '90s music, and like I wonder what happens if you went to like you know what I mean, like 2018. Are people are they still doing this
yeah,
now?
that's
or?
right. He does it out. In
Are you done
Ventura.
eating yet? You ready to do the podcast? No. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, Randy's got it out in.
So what were you saying now?
Randy Lubis has it at the Ventura Harbor Comedy.
The
He does
Thunder from Down Under.
Thunder from Down
yeah.
Under, like Tuesday nights.
So what, those guys flying from Australia every Tuesday? Or are they just like local
I think
idiots
they
who
put
like,
on an accent, probably.
hey mate, let's go get up on the 101 and
Well,
leave
we
our
was-
North Hollywood apartments. You know?
We were out in Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That's
he
right,
says
with
a
the
British
thunder from
accent.
down under. We don't do good. This is an English guy.
Hello.
Hello.
We're from Thunder
Tip,
from
tip, tip,
Down
on the
Under. Yeah.
thunder. This is me friend Darren. He's a Fresno fig plucker.
Fig plucker.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is
That was
a
the name of my.
derogatory term?
That was my grandparents. They were in a square dance crew, and there
Oh
was
my
the
God.
Fresno fig pluckers, and the other
Dude.
crew was called the Mother Smuckers.
I like how you use the word crew for that.
Yeah, yeah. My square dance crew, bro.
My dad used to square dance. And he used
Did
to be
he really?
so proud of it because he would.
It was a big deal back in the day.
Yeah, man.
Huge.
And also, he would like come home and be like, "You would have no idea how many women I meet square dance." And I'm like, "Just shut up, Riley." What are you talking about, Riley? So proud of
You're
himself.
like, you have no idea how many women I meet strip dancing. but
the
hold on,
best
move this.
part-
This thing doesn't fall off the table.
Yeah.
The best part. So you guys were like, you're like, we're not making that much dough at this.
Yeah, all that giant coin we were gonna save up and move
Yeah.
out with didn't end up being a whole lot of money, but. Whatever. It's a good story to tell. It's fun. It's fine. I can't wait to hear about this guy's story over here. I can't wait to hear Dean's
Are
story.
you almost ready, Dean? Are you almost ready?
Let me ask you a question, Peter.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're a married man now, and
Oh, yeah.
blah blah blah. Like when you were doing it, like realistically, how many shows do you think you did that you stripped at?
Oh man, it was
10, 12 times?
No, it would have been, I think it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh wow!
So it was 3 a week. We didn't do like weekdays or anything or dark the other nights. And that would have been for, I think I took like 1 or 2 weekends off in there. So 3, 6, 9, 10. Yeah. 10, probably 30 shows, I'd say.
Okay.
30
So-
altogether.
Obviously, all in hindsight now, asking you this question, I know your wife's going to listen to this, blah blah blah.
She's going to be so proud.
Right,
So proud.
exactly. But I'm sure you know.
Hey, man, this is a great way to break it to her, you know? she knew nothing about it. Hey,
Oh, by the way, hon.
Honey, skip minute 6:27.
You've got to hear this podcast.
Skip the whole podcast.
No,
The microphone
were
was
you
off.
able to sleep with any of these girls? Because that was like the slamest dunk.
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of funny because there were guys who did that, and it was fine. It was great. And what killed it was there was that strip club next door. So there was a lot of intermingling going on, and there were a lot of people who they'd take girls home and bring them with them. And I don't know, man. I always looked at it like it was a job, and it was going to be just so much headache if I tried to do anything like that. So that was that part where, like, people thought I was weird. People were like, "Why aren't you taking chicks home, man?" I'm like,
Now, what year is this, by the way?
96.
Okay, so mine is 87. So nobody's freaking out back then about AIDS or any kind of disease.
right. Well, that's the other thing too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of like, what was
Yeah.
it, 90? Yeah, because it slipped in the terror, the fear.
No pun
started
intended.
Yeah, yeah. The fear started slipping in.
Right.
Mid 90s, early 90s, late 80s. early 90s?
89, yeah, is when all that stuff started.
Yeah, so
coming
we were
out.
really aware of that.
Right.
And then just, I don't know, I just didn't want that headache.
Yeah, in 87 when I started doing it, 87 through 89.
What was
I-
your stripper name?
No, that's it. It was Dean. But I came out to
Lean
Dean's a
Dean.
good name. Dean's like sort of like
Jimmy Dean.
It's not Steve and
Yeah.
and
You're like
Harold.
James
and
Dean
David.
or a sausage. Jimmy
Yeah.
Dean, one of the two.
But I came out to you can leave your hat on. Joe Cocker's You Can Leave Your Hat On.
You can leave your.
Which was great.
This is like the widest strip club show ever. This is hilarious.
A lot of innuendo in
no,
there. with
that's like a
Cocker.
song that a lot of.
I know,
that was
but
a
I'm
big
just saying,
thing.
compared to 2018, where now they're probably
Oh.
dancing to like Kanye West or
Right,
and a
right,
poopy
right.
scoop, scoopity boop poop, poop poop scoop, or whatever that hip hop song is now. What is it? That poop poop song?
I don't know.
You don't know it? The Kanye one?
If I heard it, I'd probably know it. But
You don't know it. It was like it was all over the place for like a week. Scoopity poop, poop poop, scooters,
I know
whatever.
what you're talking about.
Okay.
And then I would go into leave your
You
hat
can
on.
leave
It was
your hat on.
And then dude looks like a lady.
Dude
Aerosmith.
looks like a
What?
dude looks like a lady.
You would do that song?
Wow, wow. Dude
Wow.
looks. Oh,
Did you
it's great.
do?
Did you have long hair or something?
What did you wear when you came out?
I came out in a. I still have it. Believe it or not, I still have it on VHS.
Really?
So if we can access a VHS thing, I can.
You need to
actually-
put that on YouTube.
yeah.
I should. I really
Put that on
should.
YouTube.
Yeah,
Get
I
that on
gotta
your
tell you the
Instagram.
funniest story. I got to tell you the funniest story. So it's on a YouTube thing. One night, let me tell you why we did this. We were doing.
Do you need a water? There might be one right by the door over there.
No, I'm good. I'm good
Okay.
right now. Oh, okay. Really appreciate the waitering service. It's
Thank
really
you.
great.
Thank you.
Darren cares.
Right, he's such a great host. He
Caring
really is.
Darren.
He really is.
He's good. This guy's podcast gold. You don't mess
Dude,
around with the
you are gold.
podcast gold. man.
Seriously?
I don't know why
Yeah,
we're even
seriously.
This is a funny story, actually. So, we were doing pretty well with the business. The business was going real well. We were making back then. It's 87.
Yeah.
So you're a little ahead of me. So, your money's still decent back then. Okay, but I was doing about $350, $400 a night.
It's good cash. Man.
Okay, and somebody just walked by. Yeah, it was $350, $400. To the point as what was spoken about in podcast number 10 or 11, whatever it is, you and I, that I was living next door to Mike Tyson in Manhattan.
What?
That's the kind of money I was making.
Wow.
Okay, and yeah, they moved Mike into the building, but that's neither here. That's for another portion of the story. So we wanted to get all these clubs in Long Island and South Jersey and maybe Maryland or something, Delaware area, where we could pick up 200-300 women in a place, blah blah blah.
That's crazy.
With a bachelorette party kind of thing. And so I had my brother come out one night. My older brother Scott came out. Like I don't have any other brothers. I don't know why I just said my older brother. My brother Scott came out and he shot it on VHS. So the entire show is on VHS. But this is the funny part. So, I used to show it to girls like in 2005, 2006. I would show that this is what I used to do. But one night, by accident, I taped an episode of NYPD Blue. Okay, do you remember NYPD
Oh, yeah,
Blue with
yeah.
Dennis Franz?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so one night I taped, and by accident, like a fucking moron, I taped over a portion of my segment of stripping. We had
Gone
all the
forever.
guys, and I was one of them, and by some fluke, I literally taped over when I was on stage. Okay, now I'm kissing and tipping, getting the money, kissing and tipping. You know that? Do you know was that the lingo back then? Kissing and
No,
tipping.
no.
Kissing and tipping was when you
He's
kissed
New
the
York,
girl.
man. This is the
Yeah,
major
you
leagues.
guys are real deal.
Well, I'll show
man.
you photos when we get off the.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
please.
have the
I wanna
photos
see
on my
this.
phone. Yeah. Ray Liotta was hysterical the other day in the dentist office when I showed him. He asked. We were talking. It was just me and him in the waiting room.
Yeah.
I was getting an implant done, and so he said, "What were you doing in the late '80s in Manhattan that you knew some of the people that I knew?"
You're like, let me show you this VHS tape.
Pretty good. It's
Right,
pretty
right.
Yeah.
And he said, and I
It's
said,
in
pretty good Leota.
So he said. So I said to him,
NYPD
I was
Blue
learning how to-
Balls.
wait, wait, I was learning how to do stand up, and I was male stripping in the day. And he goes, "What? You got to be?" And he couldn't believe it. Blah blah blah. And I showed him the photo on my phone. He takes my phone. He starts laughing with the Ray Liotta laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And he takes the phone and he goes up to the girls at the front desk of the dentist's office. You know how there's like 5 girls milling around with paperwork and billing and all this stuff in an office.
In a
office
fancy
setting.
dentist office.
You say again?
In a fancy
In a
dentist office.
yeah. Obviously, in Santa Monica, I went, and he goes, "Ladies, you got to see this. Look at what this guy used to do in the late '80s." Okay, and it was just hysterical. It was just the fact that he grabbed my phone.
Yeah.
So, I taped over this VHS segment, tiny little bit. So it literally goes, "Dude looks like a lady." Wow. And then you see me kissing and tipping. I got my testicles over this girl's.
Oh, my God.
Oh, well, I mean, that's what
Yeah.
it was, man,
Yeah.
back then. Okay, I mean, it was crazy.
Did you have
You're in
long
the big
hair?
leagues, man.
I always had long hair. I mean, I always
Yeah.
kept my hair relatively long. Even now, as a 54-year-old guy, what I got, I still, keep relatively long. But I'm not that guy who, has that long ponytail at 52. And
Yeah, I
nothing
know.
else.
Would you
I know.
keep it wet and flip it up behind you? in
No,
slow motion?
man. I didn't have. It wasn't
know.
that kind of a
Dude,
look. That was
looks like a
Fabio. Fabio was
lady.
doing that. We used to
Yeah.
bring him out with us. on business portion. He would sign posters. So so if you look at the tape, when you look at the tape, you see me, you can leave your hat on, where I slowly take off the clothes. Then the speed of Aerosmith's Dude Looks Like a Lady's when we really get rocking, blah, blah, blah. It's crazy, right?
Dude, imagine if you went to Iowa. You'd be
I
like the
have
instant
this.
headliner.
If we can get this on a
Yeah.
VHS,
Yeah.
and there's places that will convert.
Oh, yeah.
I have this. Okay?
Digitize it. There's a
But
place. We
there
just
is-
did that
there's tons,
recently.
right?
Yeah.
So the funniest thing is,
You got to get this on
it's
Instagram.
funny.
Yeah.
You're right. I do.
Seriously.
And this is the best part.
You guys follow his Instagram real quick.
This
Let's
is-
plug it. Dean,
Dr. Dean,
Dr.
DRDEAN 125.
Dr. Dean,
Dean 125.
125.
Check it out right now. If you're listening to this and you're on your phone, Dr. Dean 125. You'll see some pictures and videos of Dean.
Yeah,
it's
it's
great.
really funny.
Okay.
Well, eventually I'll get that done.
Yeah.
That's
By
gonna
the
take a
time
little
this airs.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Plenty.
He's done like 19 podcasts in the last 4 days. So Darren Carter will do a podcast with the person serving you at Big Boys. Hey, you want to do a podcast?
That's true. I did do it one time.
Did you really?
I did like a brief, like a
Hey.
1 minute interview because the guy was such a good waiter. He was like, and would you? He had a deep voice. He goes, and would you like to pimp that burger? He said that. He goes, would you like to pimp that burger? Could I record you saying that? And he goes, would you like to pimp that burger? And he
So-
goes, for an extra $1.25, you can get 2 slices of bacon. And then he said one more thing that was
sound
kind
like
of
the
funny.
Marine from last night.
He goes, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself.
I like it.
Darren, were you with a Marine last night?
He tells a funny story about a Marine.
Oh yeah, it's
It's a
yeah.
good story for later. But
Yeah.
so if for later. So
Different podcast.
if when you're watching it, it does exactly what I said. You can leave your hat on. Hat goes off. Blah blah blah. Hat goes back on because we're leaving the hat on.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Slowly but surely, close off. Doom doom doom. I happen to be wearing a leopard skin G-string that night. Blah blah blah. Everything's there. Boom. Dude looks like a lady. And that's when I would go and do. It was like 6 minutes of dancing and 10 minutes of kissing and tipping.
Wow.
Okay, because we had 400 women to get to.
Well, we called it work the room. We didn't call it
work
kissing
the
and
room.
tipping.
Whatever, kissing and tipping. You gave a girl a kiss on the cheek back then, and you what do you call it? You took her money.
Yeah. That's,
What do you call it? Oh yeah, you take the money.
yeah.
You took her money.
Yeah.
So
When does a male stripper know that it's time to like hit the bricks and retire? When you're kissing and they're leaning away from you, repulsed.
right. Yeah,
depends how much ice
I
you
would
have in your leg
say
at the end of the day.
I would say the guy who did it the longest, I think, was probably Michael Rapp. He was like the most famous
Name
male
dropping
stripper
here.
ever. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we're still friends. We're still friends on Facebook. But
And what age?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Michael, I think, was still doing it at
67.
no, he's I think 60 now, but he was doing it probably up until about I think 40, 42.
Damn, that
Which is
sucks.
amazing.
So
But
you're
Michael was
younger
the
than
kind of
us.
guy- But Michael was the
Shit.
kind of guy making probably
Yeah.
200,000,
Get
250.
Whoa.
down.
That's
Oh,
gotta
he
suck if
was-
you're making that much
women went
money and you're
crazy at
like,
this guy.
yeah,
I'll show you
wow.
what he used to look like. Women used to go nuts over this guy, and he's still a fantastic looking guy. He's a great guy. Michael, I'm plugging you right now, and
What's his
no pun
Instagram?
intended, Mike. So
What's his Instagram? Let's look it up. No.
yeah, he's Mike is a great guy.
That's cool.
But so if you're watching this tape, you see all this. Leave your hat on. Dude looks like a lady, kissing and tipping. I got my leg over this girl's shoulder, okay, and grinding, ba 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 ba, and then all of a sudden,
Gong gong.
it cuts to Dennis Franz
no.
taking a shower in
God.
NYPD blue,
Oh my God.
naked
This is a
with his
sitcom
butt
moment.
crack showing.
Oh my
That
god.
was
Okay.
brilliant.
It is so classically hysterical, just because, and what happened was I literally had a girl in my house, in my apartment at the time, and we're in bed together, hanging out, watching TV. And I said, "Really, you don't believe me? I used to do this." No way you did that. Blah 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 blah. Blah. And I show her the tape, and I had no clue. And then all of a sudden, dude looks like a lady, and I got my leg over this girl's head. Blah blah blah. And then it cuts to Dennis Franz taking a shower. And Dennis Franz is not exactly Michael Rapp taking a shower.
Yeah.
Dennis
what I
Franz is
hear.
a nice man. I met him once, but he is definitely not the guy that you want to have in that vignette.
Wow.
Okay, but no, that was a lot of fun. But we were making. I was usually doing like $350, $400 a night, working about 2-3 nights a week.
Nice, man.
And,
that was in 87.
I was 23
so-
years old.
Yeah.
I was 23
Gosh,
years
that's
old.
great.
Let me ask you, Dean.
ahead.
Did you ever dance and you and you recognize someone in the crowd, or they recognize you.
Oh
you're like,
yeah, all the
Oh, that would
girls-
happen?
Yeah. All the girls from high school, like because my partner
Yeah.
was a guy by the name of Dan. We're not friends anymore, but
Not plugging Dan.
no, I'm definitely not plugging this guy. This guy was just not worth plugging. So
I want to hear that story. Let's do a whole
he-
podcast on that.
He was
This
just,
motherfucker took
he
my
was
song.
whatever.
Yeah.
But he, so we both went to the same high school together, so we knew a lot of the girls in Queens
Yeah.
and the girls that had their hair blown up
Right.
with helium and all that other stuff that teased look back in the '80s.
Hell yeah.
And so what we would do, we were pretty smart. I was always a little bit of a businessman. Since I'm a little kid. There was the Middle East embargo, the oil embargo in 1972. You guys, I don't even think were born. And I was online at the gas stations at 7 o'clock in the morning. I was 8 years old. I was 8 years old and running with a dime in my hand. No, I was 8 years old in 72. And I'm doing a little Bruce for him.
Oh yeah.
And I would sell coffee online because they had the odd, even days of
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
gas.
It was the license plate number, wasn't it?
It was I think
Yeah.
that's how they did it. The last
Yeah.
the 3 digits, and that's how I and I was selling coffee for 50 cents a cup.
Look at you,
at,
man.
at age 8.
That's
So I was always
cool.
into the money thing. I always
Did
into
you invest
that. I
it?
liked making money. I liked making money. So
As you remember for earlier episodes, Dean is the wealthy bachelor.
oh stop. He always loves making me out to be Bruce Wayne.
Only because this guy never goes to bed. He's like he
You know,
lives.
that's true.
He plays by
That's
his own
very true.
rules.
I've only seen you a few times. I've only been around you a few times.
It's
and
always
always
after
late.
midnight.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you don't
my
even
friends,
show
my
up
friends
until
joke and they go, "When are you going back into your sarcophagus?"
6 a.m. sun up.
6. I usually go to bed about 5:36. That's when I
Wow,
like to.
man.
That's when I like to go to sleep. I like to go to bed about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I sleep till about 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
And that's all. So I'm fine with that. But what we were saying was,
Do you ever get recognized when you were dancing?
so we did something pretty smart. We would go to the malls, and we would give our cards to the owners of lingerie stores. And these chicks would own these stores, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes an Israeli guy, what can I do for you? Well, that kind of thing. And I would say, listen, we're going to be performing at your club 3 blocks down the street here. Any of the girls, would you sponsor us? And we're going to do a raffle. And 3 girls are going to win $20 at your place for G-strings, whatever they want to buy, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, my friend, I do that for you. No problem, no problem. And that's how we would end up doing like a nice draw that night because women would flock out for that
Wow.
shit. It was great. We
did not do that at Dipsticks.
We would do a lot about yeah, exactly.
Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Now,
Hey, would you
Free
sponsor
Slurpees
us?
down the street if you
now,
want.
honestly, did you ever have a girl or anybody petition you on a bachelorette party to I wore a long, almost like a Nazi jacket, like
Like a big overcoat.
yeah, a big one down to
Columbine.
and
Swastika
yeah,
and
right,
everything.
Yeah.
what do they call those?
The
guys?
overcoat.
Overcoat.
Right,
Trench
but what was
coat.
the trench coat.
Yeah.
Trench coat, yeah.
And I wore this trench coat on stage for "Leave Your Hat On," and the women,
Look like the Hamburglar.
the women, yeah, exactly, and the women would actually. I
was
had-
Grimace.
I think I had,
Grimace.
I think I had 2 occasions where the women buried their head behind
Wow.
behind my jacket
Dude, you're pro.
and serviced me orally.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. I guess
I actually had that done.
that's
And it was crazy. I mean, it was
it's a good
such
reason to wear a trench coat.
That's for sure.
Like you're like, I'm never
It was like a
retiring from
woman
this
going
business.
into a voting booth.
voting booth.
Oh god, that's funny. Oh, that's good.
Hey, for old time's sakes, do you ever pull off the trench coat there on Ventura Boulevard at 2 a.m.
With the weights.
With the
With the weights and a jump rope.
Come on, I used to be
Oh,
somebody.
my
This
God,
is
that's
come
funny.
on, come on, God. Why couldn't this be 1987 again?
Did you say 2 weights and a jump rope?
Yeah, because he took pictures, video of me the other night on Ventura
He does this at 1
Boulevard.
a.m. He
I
goes
go
up and
like
down
about
Ventura
3
Boulevard
o'clock in the
with
morning.
weights.
Really?
I like to go.
I think I'm going to post it on my Instagram or YouTube.
Yeah, he
I'll probably
gets
put it on
good
YouTube that
feedback
way it's
on
longer.
He gets good
Yeah.
feedback on that one. I go out about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning with 2 10-pound dumbbells that are constantly in the trunk of my car and a jump rope. And I go from Laurel Canyon. This guy gets a kick out of me, man. He just doesn't understand how I'm functioning. So And I go from Laurel Canyon and Ventura to Coldwater and Ventura, 1 mile each way with 2 miles with 10 pounds in each hand. Doing biceps, triceps, deltoids, obliques, and then a jump rope every quarter of a mile, every quarter of a mile, half mile, 4 times.
When you jump rope, are you hearing that song? Relax, go to it when you want to go to it.
And I jump rope at an Arco station that's open all night long on Whitsett and, and
Exactly
Ventura.
which one you're talking about.
You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And the guy always gets freaked out when he sees
Really?
me. He's like,
He's not used to you now?
Well, now, yeah, but every once in a while they
Well, you're-
change shifts kind of thing. These guys are
yeah, I knew-
sleeping half
yeah.
the time.
Dude, you're just a nighttime guy. That's all.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love the serenity of it. I put Bruce on in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
ears.
Bruce
I put Billy
Springsteen, yeah.
Joel or Stones or whatever, and
It's
and
quiet,
it
it's
just
calm.
relaxes me, man. I just
Love it,
you know,
yeah.
and I've had a couple of altercations. I've had people throw bottles at me at 2 o'clock in the morning out of their car. Guys that are drinking, blah blah blah, whatever it is, what it is.
But you're Batman, so you can
But
kill
I'm-
him.
I'm Batman.
Drop a hat
and
anyway.
Let me ask you, Peter, when you were dancing in Council Bluffs, you only did it for 3 months. The plan was do it, make the money, move to, was it Houston or L.A.?
It was Houston when
Houston.
I moved. Yeah.
But that was the goal, is to go to Houston.
The goal was to go to Houston because we
Yeah.
were in Omaha.
weird goal.
Dude, I grew up in Omaha.
Dean said that was a
man.
weird goal.
You gotta get your priorities straight.
Well, Houston was the biggest. Houston was I'd only been to 2 cities outside of Omaha. One was Chicago and one was Houston.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Chicago's cold. I don't feel like going there. Houston was warm all year round. So
Moist. I mean, humid.
oh, it's humid.
Well, let me ask you this though: how about you? Did you ever run into anyone you recognized or recognized you?
Yeah, you know what? The funny thing was there was a girl that worked at the gym that came in one night, and it was kind of bizarre because when she came in, I totally shifted gears. I was like, "Oh my God, it's good to see you. Great. Hey, how you doing?" Just big
shit.
hugs and like almost high fives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think she was a little disappointed because maybe she was like,
She wanted you to be the bad boy.
I think she wanted me to be the
Yep.
bad boy.
You're
And
just being the normal.
All of a sudden, you're like,
nature,
Lady, hello, lady.
I was like, so happy to
Lady
see you.
with
Oh,
the
it's
scarf.
crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
jeez.
right.
Gee, Wally.
oh, you guys made it out here.
You don't really have to watch.
Yeah. You know what? thanks for coming out.
Right.
Are you guys having a good time? Yeah, it was bad.
Oh man, that was. I gotta tell you what happened on the way over here. And the reason I was a few minutes late.
Here?
You're gonna get a kick out of this. The reason I was a few minutes late here is I don't like to kill flies or like spiders in my house or anything like that. I give roaches what I call, if I ever see a roach, and thank God I don't really see too many in my place. My building's pretty good. Okay, but 1 a year, 2 a year, I give roaches what I call a swimmer's chance. Okay, almost like a puncher's chance in it.
Yeah.
I give him a swimmer's chance. So what I do is I hold him in a cup, in a cup with a CD cassette, like a compact disc, up against the cup, the circle of the cup.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have the roach, and I say, look, I don't want to kill you. I don't want to feel responsible for this, and blah, 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 that I took your life, blah, blah, blah. I said, so I'm going to give you a swimmer's chance, all right?
Throw him in the toilet,
And
don't you?
I start the toilet up, almost like
Gross.
a...
Yeah.
No, well, I flush the toilet,
Yeah.
develop a little whirlpool, and then I throw him in there. And if he can swim and
Wow.
hold his breath long enough, like David Blaine or something like that.
Or like the alligator
Of
in that
roaches.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cut him a break. That's why I can live with myself. So there was a horsefly that got from my balcony today when I opened up the screen, and he was in the bathroom with me when I took a shower to come over here, and because I knew it was going to be a packed house, that when we do this, and we should really do this here in front of a packed house. I wonder if we could put that together. So
You know what? You've got such a great mind. You know how you said you were able to get those the sponsorship with the stripper stuff and the Israeli lingerie store.
Thunder from Down Under should
Yes,
really
partner with the Pocket Party podcast, and let's take this to the next level.
let's do it at the Improv,
Okay.
or Flappers, or friggin' any of these places.
Okay.
So wait a second. So
Yeah.
I catch this fly. I lock him in the bathroom because I see he's on the bathroom mirror, blah, blah, and I catch him and I'm keeping an eye on him. I'm not a well man, Peter. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of
Not
dedication
well.
that goes into not killing things.
I
man.
don't. There's something about my theory. My theory is the friggin' fly has what, 7 days to live anyway.
Right, yeah.
Cut him a break. Let him have a week.
Give it to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at him, and he's looking at me. He's got, you just know he sees me, and I trap him. I get him into the cup that I use all the time. It's my mosquito cup, and
I think I drank from that cup when I was at your
What
place.
CD do you use? By the
okay.
way?
yeah, what's CD?
Is it a
Oh, yeah, it's
Bruce?
Neil Young's Harvest Moon.
Oh my
And-
God, that's funny.
And I flip him over, and I now have him. And I talked to him very nicely. And I said, "Don't worry, this is not. You're not over. I'm gonna take you out on the balcony and let you fly off." My luck, I get a fly with Stockholm syndrome.
Oh.
Okay, doesn't want to leave the friggin' cup when I take the CD off out in the
Mm.
balcony. So I'm sitting out there for about 4.5, 5 minutes, shaking the cup, but I don't want to throw him on off the balcony because it's like a 12-foot drop. I figured he wouldn't be able to catch himself and everything. So I'm sitting there and I'm going, I don't believe this. I got a fly here that doesn't want to leave the cup now. This story's not really going anywhere.
No, but you know what? This is the
But it's like Stockholm syndrome.
This is great.
He fell in love with his captor.
Peter, you got to remember this the next time you're late somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, like
This is-
Peter, what happened? I don't like to
Oh
kill.
my God.
I don't like to kill insects.
Do you have 12 minutes, sir?
I've got
It's going to take a minute to explain.
You would not last on the farm because there's so many flies. You'd be
I
like,
know.
screw it, I changed my attitude. you know, yeah, they
Just be walking down like, what's his name at the end of an Incredible Hulk episode?
yeah. I killed so many flies.
Peter, where are you from?
Nebraska.
Nebraska. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. You do Christian Leonard, her show here.
Oh, yeah, Christina.
Christina.
Oh, the Nebraska show.
That's
You know,
right, that's right.
they say if you want to catch a fly, turn off all the lights and then put the light on in one room, and the fly will
course.
gravitate toward
They're all
that.
attracted to light. Mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, but even flies, anything.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
Or they go into the center of the room.
Absolutely. And the opposite for roaches. No, roaches turn the lights off, they'll come out. Roaches are,
Yep.
roaches are
yeah.
nocturnal.
Hey, you're nocturnal.
I'm nocturnal. I'm basically a
You have a
roach.
brotherhood with the roaches. That's hilarious.
So how are you doing, Peter? How's everything going? We haven't seen
All
each
right,
other in a
man.
while.
Yeah, it's been, I don't know if you guys ever go through this, but you get, like that. I don't know. Can you hear the AC on in here?
Yeah, but that's okay. It sounds
All right.
like a spooky building.
Yeah.
Make sure the thing is still recording. Okay, so that was the stripper story.
That was a stripper story.
Do you want to continue with
Peter
the?
was okay.
Yeah, yeah.
He was just going to
Yeah.
tell us something.
Oh, yeah. No, you know what? I was kind of going through one of those weeks, where you're just like, just kind of wondering. Don't know where you're going, but then,
With comedy, with
comedy, life in general. I mean, life's pretty much on track, but just with
Yeah.
comedy and everything.
It's a weird
A
business,
little
man.
uninspired for a
yeah,
minute. and
because you
then-
hosted some television shows. You were like a home improvement type of guy.
Yeah,
and-
there was a couple of good years in there that worked really, really well, and then it dropped off for a bit, and then
What about the soap opera market? I could see you doing the
I
soaps.
was on The Bold and the Beautiful for a while.
Really? When?
Yeah, it was back in 2000 to 2002, 2003.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Dean was on.
I did 3 years on Days of Our Lives on 2009 through 2012.
Nice, man.
But really, that's awesome. So you had a nice little
Yeah,
role?
it
or-
was. There was like I said, there were a few years I worked really well, and then I hosted a few home improvement shows for a while, and a couple of different networks, did a ton of pilots, and then there was one, like
ton
wasn't
of pilots all in the home improvement world?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and then there was, I did a few infomercials in there too.
I did.
And
I
then-
did my share of
Yeah.
infomercials.
Yeah.
Soda Stream.
Yeah. And then there was like the last thing I did, it was not a good experience, and then I was like, screw it, I'm never doing these things again.
It's a weird business, man.
Stupid. The money was horrible, and then it was just a bad experience, and I was just like, you know what? F this. I'm done with it. Never.
Well, you have a great look, man. You really do. You have
Oh,
a
shucks, man.
No, seriously. I I'm very centered in my sexuality, and I'm not coming on to Peter. I'm not at all. I can say when a guy's a good-looking guy,
Yeah,
man.
appreciate that.
have
You
a
as
good-
well, dude.
I was a good-looking man.
Oh, come on
I just
now.
got to get the hair transplants.
You're just gonna age like a fine wine.
All right.
And
I
Darren,
thought you were going to say you're going to age like a fine fly in someone's bathroom. You've got 7 days, kid. You got to swim as
Stockholm
Jens.
syndrome.
and Darren, let's not forget, you are one sexy mother effer.
Thank you. I've got the
yeah.
Stockton syndrome.
Y'all
But are
punching
you?
bags.
Fresno
But are
syndrome.
you going out on cop dramas and
Not anymore, man.
Really?
Yeah,
Dean,
I
yeah,
haven't had
yeah.
a theatrical agent in couple of years.
It's such a weird business now.
Yeah.
It's so strange now.
Yeah. And
I've never seen it like this, where so much content out there, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, 900 channels on your DVR box.
Right.
And yet you never see any of those shows on the breakdowns. It's all in-house casting. Most of
Yeah.
it is in-house casting.
Yeah, and that, to be honest with you, that was, I just finally got to the point where I was, I have another job that I make decent money at, and I actually love doing it.
Good.
And it just got to the point where it wasn't worth that gamble. It wasn't worth going out, driving to Santa Monica at 3 o'clock on a
forget
Friday.
about Santa Monica, Ocean Park Boulevard.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
Forget
about.
it for the commercials.
I know.
Yeah, driving in
2600
Hollywood,
Ocean Park
2600,
Boulevard
yeah.
or
That's
2700.
2700.
We think you're a
Second
great
floor.
building, but you're a little bit annoying to get to.
Yeah. Yeah.
We love what you do there.
We-
You guys are great.
Yes, the
but
guys, they're very cool.
they're awesome.
They're very nice.
But it's ridiculous
I know.
already from Studio
Yeah.
City.
You got to get there. You got
Exactly.
to park. Then you got to go up to that third floor. Then you get there, and you
do
go,
you
"Where's the
guys-
bathroom key?" Then you go to the bathroom. It's like, oh my
Right,
god.
Do you guys park alongside the park?
Yes.
Yes.
You go down that
I
street.
used to do pull-ups all the time before
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
always do pull-ups before I
Take
went
a
in
little
on.
jog around there.
Yep.
Nice
All-
little walk after
Yeah,
that
yeah,
2-hour
yeah, yeah.
drive.
Do you guys ever
Little
audition
fun.
way over there? Then you're like, I'm gonna grab something to eat. I'll get something out of this trip. And then,
so
and then
that you don't get hit with the 405
yeah,
north.
but then I learned my lesson. I'm like, no, I need to get out of here
gotta
as
get out of
quick as
there.
possible,
Yeah.
so I'm not stuck in traffic.
Right.
Yeah, and then once in a while you get in there and there's 150.
Yeah.
Like for my case, it would be blonde hair, brown hair, blue-eyed white guys.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you end up sitting there for 2 hours, and it's like,
Oh my god. One time I went in for Santa Claus. They called me in for Santa Claus.
and you know what the killer is? When you go in for a Santa
Yeah.
Claus part, there's some Santa Claus looking.
Oh yeah.
just
I know.
real.
Oh,
They're real
I think the
dudes.
real
They
Santa
look
Claus
just like the
politicians.
Kenny Bob Davis.
Yeah.
Did you ever work for Kenny Bob Davis?
No.
Kenny Bob Davis had a few rooms, and he was a comic, and he was he worked Tahoe Improv all the time. Bud loved him, Bud Friedman. But Kenny Bob Davis was a Santa Claus. He was an actual
Wow.
Santa Claus. He did, I think, department stores and other.
man.
But no, he was always booking commercials in December, as the Coca-Cola
Wow.
doing
Yeah.
a commercial on a sleigh, blah blah blah. And I definitely figured you would have worked for Kenny Bob. I worked with him. Me, Chris Strait, went out to Albuquerque, New Mexico for Kenny Bob.
I don't know the guy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm very surprised. You of all people.
Don't know him.
But
I remember that last one of the last auditions I did there. I thought this is a total waste of time. I mean, it's just the guys had the natural white beard. They're fat. They're in their 60s.
right.
I'm like, what am I here for? It's
Right.
The only thing I have is like blue eyes. That's I mean nothing that's
Yeah, and to be honest with you, it was stuff
Yeah.
like that, and it
not
just
only that, the money is not the same to
well,
go
that's
down
the
there
other
anymore.
thing too, and
Yeah.
it's the money wasn't the same, and I got to the point where I was making, like on a given year, right? Like some of these show contracts, like the home improvement show, were just ridiculous, man. They would
In good or bad?
and bad.
Oh, okay.
They would hold you to a 5-year non-compete clause, and they'd give you maybe 1,000 an episode, and they'd only shoot 13 or 12 or whatever the number.
And you
was.
can't work out
And
anywhere
you
else
can't do anything
involved
else
in that
forever,
genre.
for like 5 years, and that whole genre network. I mean, if you look through it, it was just one of those things. It was like, why the hell would I even? Why would I agree to this? And I wasn't a big
Because
enough
they
name.
know they have you by the balls.
And I wasn't a big enough name to ever, I mean, I
Right.
did a few public appearances, but I wasn't Ty Pennington. I wasn't doing Sears ads. I wasn't getting Home Depot ads. And then if you didn't do it, there was 15, 16 other guys ready to go right behind you that would just, from Kansas, just love to get on TV.
But I see this guy booking left and right commercials.
Yeah, I've heard
that's
that.
frustrating too. When people tell you that, why aren't
Yeah.
you booking? Why aren't you booking? And then you're like, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
and
like-
you know what? It's
Yeah.
funny because I can analyze that.
But you know what though? Let's think positive. Let's not worry about what's out of our control. It's out of our control. What's
Yes.
in our control? What are you working on now? There's that thing you said. You and your friend.
Yeah, we're actually working on.
Because you and I
did
developed
you-
a pilot.
Yeah. Did you see that link I sent you?
I haven't had a chance to send it
Yeah.
because I've been so busy.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you, and I can't wait to look at it.
Yeah.
I
So
want to
the
hear
thing,
about this. Go ahead.
yeah, the thing that we did, that ended up being extremely similar to that show that was on Spike with Adam.
Yeah.
Like the Adam Carolla.
We had this
show
idea,
was-
and we filmed it. We actually shot the pilot.
we shot it.
yeah,
we
it
had
was-
Eric Myers on it.
Yep.
He was our guest.
It was
Funny,
basically
funny
a
man.
talk show where he's a pro construction worker and me, the sidekick, and then we have a new guest and we build something, and by the end of the show, it's built. And
yeah.
the name, and then we donate whatever we make, like a table or whatever, to a charity of the guest's choice. And the name of the show is called what?
Nailed it.
That's
I
right.
love it.
And we go,
Yeah.
nailed
Love it.
it. I think we can
Love
still do it.
Yeah, we could. Actually, if we produce it right now.
Love it.
Yeah.
Have you seen my shop lately? Because I totally decked out the shop. I painted
Oh,
the
yeah, you
back
did
wall.
show me that.
I got
With the
lights
brick
in
and
there.
everything?
Yeah. So
You're,
literally,
you're a master carpenter.
I wouldn't say master, but I can.
Hey,
Definitely
why don't
do
you?
it.
Is there anything? Maybe we could do something with you. You could like build something. I mean,
Oh yeah, you're talking to a Jew.
that's what I'm saying. It's like,
I can't.
but you could you could develop
I had
something for
trouble-
your fly
I had
collection.
I had trou-
Jesus was a carpenter.
I had,
Yes,
I had trouble
motherfucker.
putting a 3-volt battery into a fob today for a gate.
Jesus was a carpenter. We're like, come on, help
He
us
was
out.
Jewish.
I
Jesus
know.
was a Jew.
Yeah.
But there is doubt. My friend used to do a bit about it on that stage. They're saying, but there is definitely doubt to that because I've never seen a carpenter who was a Jew. My friend Kent Casper, I'm giving you credit, you prick. We haven't spoken in a while.
No, but what I'm saying is like the thing about that's the idea that the person they don't even have to know how to do construction because I don't know how to do construction. So he would teach.
But are you
us,
like the Harrison Ford construction guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I mean, I've got
Holy
the shop. I
shit.
used to build cabinets.
I
in
feel like
there.
that's a
I was
lost art that's not
full-
happening.
John
now.
DeResta.
Yeah, yeah.
John DeResta.
Yeah, I
That's
mean-
the guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's already
Yeah.
done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I
He
would
could still do it though.
Why not? John, if he can't get something off the ground himself, why not? some
Especially
more than
now
that?
online. You know what I
Right.
mean?
True.
Online. Now
That's a guy you
online.
should be
I've got a
talking to.
whole.
We don't have to wait for CBS, NBC, ABC,
Yeah.
Spike or whatever.
Yeah, and so we're
Because
working
in
on
this
this.
day and age, you can actually, as long as you got viewers, somebody's going to pick it up.
Yeah, true.
As long as you have
And we've-
viewers.
Yeah, and this new project is, we're still in the beta version. We only got like.
And I
4
could
or
be the
5.
Jew that just constantly asks questions. So that nail goes there.
No, actually, Darren is that
Nailed
guy.
it.
Oh, you're the guy who's.
Yeah, I'm the one that
I
asked
was like,
questions.
oh wow, I can turn this screwdriver, and then it goes backwards.
Oh, you're not
I'm
good
like,
at any of this stuff?
So
No.
good, Darren.
Oh, I would have figured Darren was one of those guys that's good at that shit.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not in a bad way. But
Yeah.
like
That's what the idea was. Because one day I was walking and I was like, gosh, I don't know how to do this crap. And I'm a father now. I want to be able to teach my son something.
Let
that's
me
like-
guess. You were in IKEA.
Yeah. I know.
Is IKEA done? Are they finished?
No, man. They
No,
just
there's
built
still
that
another-
giant.
there's a big
brand
one right
new
up the
over
street.
here.
You got to be kidding.
No, they closed the IKEA over
Yes.
in Burbank, right? And then
Yeah.
they built an entire IKEA city with its own streets and stoplights and
Yeah.
everything.
About a mile that way.
Yeah.
IKEA stands for I can't even assemble. It's a spelling joke.
Wow,
think it's
I didn't
Kant.
know that.
Yeah.
Because I saw that they were closed up here near this ramp.
man.
And I went, good for you. I said, you
There's-
treated us like shit with your horrible instructions, blah, blah, blah.
There's probably a
Blah.
giant IKEA Death Star.
And now you're
somewhere.
telling
Yeah.
me
You
that
know.
they're
It's
as
even
big
bigger.
as
It's
a
Oh,
way
yeah,
bigger.
dude.
It's over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
It's the
They have
size
their
of
own
Glendale.
atmosphere. It rains in there. No.
Hello. Hello. I'll be
Yeah,
in
swimmer's
Tacoma
chance got
all week.
area codes in it.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's interesting. All right. So your wife must love having you in the house.
Well, I really turned it on when I met her because she lived in this apartment, and I actually made her a big cutting board cart when, just a few months after we were dating. And I was smitten with her from.
She's
the day
very
that we
pretty,
met.
by the way. I saw the congratulations. I saw her on
Oh,
Facebook.
thank you. Yeah.
One of the first
congratulations.
things that Peter built when I first met him, within the first year, I told him
yeah.
I'm playing board games with my son
Right,
Austin,
right.
and we were playing that game Aggravation. And I go, dude, it's no pun intended, but it's aggravating that I can't find the original Aggravation game because now the way they make boards now is they fold them up into 4s.
Okay.
When we were kids, remember you just fold it in half,
Fold it in
right?
half.
Or not even fold it at all. I think no, they
No,
fold it in
you
half.
folded.
But not the 4, and then now they make it all for people with
Monopoly
short
was in half,
attention.
yeah.
Short attention spans, all bright colors and splash and 3D, and it's too confusing. And he goes, "Well, let's get together and make a aggravation board game," and we did. It was
Really?
great. He did
Yeah,
he did
pulled
like
it out.
99% of the work.
Yeah, I made it
Fantastic.
because
Yeah.
Austin. We made it like the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah,
We did,
Hollywood
the
Walk of
star in the
Fame
middle
and-
and the speckle paint on it.
So
and then,
cool.
We divoted
Yep.
the little round bits straight into it. And then
Your
Rachel,
your wife.
yeah, Rachel lived in this apartment. She had this closet that would open up, and it was an old Murphy bed closet. So I just custom built this whole cabinet in there, made it the exact same size of her TV. And when I built the doors, I made them out of the same sheet of birch, like a nice light and dark stain. And then,
guys like this.
so that way, the one door just blends right into the next door. And then she moved a few
Now,
months
now,
later.
That's cool
tell
that
me,
you did that.
Tell me, you also do cars as well. You a car guy?
No, you know what? I was never that big of a car guy. But when I was younger, I was a little bit more of a car guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to the point where I could do this. I could build with wood and steel and concrete and do all that stuff. But when it came to cars, like I know my way around a car, but it's just not.
It's not second nature like carpentry.
It's not second nature, but it was also it was that fine line where I was like, you know what, somebody can do it faster and better, and I'd rather just give them the money and then I'll just go do my thing.
Pretty
So
cool,
that's-
man.
Yeah.
That's that. Now, were you taught carpentry by your father or something? Or
No.
my aunt.
It's
My little sister taught me when she was
Nebraska.
16.
No, I kind of picked it up, man. When I was 15, I worked for a church that my brother worked at, so I learned little stuff there. And then all throughout high school, I worked at this place, and we would have to paint and weld and do all that fun stuff. And then when I graduated high school, I was going to school at night, and I was working for a flooring contractor, and I worked for a concrete contractor. And then when I moved to Houston, I worked for a general, and then I worked for
So you got it from every different. Okay.
So I worked for a general. I learned a lot, and then I worked under a finish carpenter for a few years. So I got the real fine detail work. So when you walk into my shop, it's like it's one of those places
Spotless.
where it's kind of spotless, but like, and I have this twitch in my brain. I just know exactly where every single little tool is. You know what I mean? And
The
when
quote
I used
unquote organized chaos. If it is.
yeah, it's pretty organized, but man, when I used to have guys that work for me and they would leave stuff scattered everywhere, and I'd go to reach and I'd be like, "Where the
Right,
is this
right,
thing?"
right,
And
right,
it would
right.
just drive me insane.
I'm the same way in my office. I cannot leave the office until it's spotless.
Yeah.
All right.
Dean's a chiropractor for those of you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
joining us.
Dr.
Yeah.
Dean, DRDEAN 125.
Dr. Dean,
Dr. Dean.
DRDEAN 125.
So I want to do a video later about you know how men don't throw out underwear, okay, until it's like at the bottom. Like
Dean
Did you
really-
just pull out some underwear?
Yeah.
His buttless
This is-
underwear.
So I have invented what I call the Hoopoe Express.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, this is gross.
Clever name.
This is what would happen.
We don't need a visual. I get the idea.
There's stripes.
I want to
There's
do. I
stripes.
want to do. No, what are the odds that literally, I have two underwear.
Wow.
Darren gets very weirded out about stuff like this.
I mean, those are blown out, man.
They're-
Why would you bring underwear?
blown out, son.
Why would you bring underwear into a podcast?
because I want to do a film later on like to explain that this is an advantage to this.
Dude, the look on your face right now, Darren.
I know. I'm not into
Kind of
this.
priceless.
This is so
a-
gross to me.
This is a.
Yeah.
Every now and then, Dean takes a left turn.
Oh, I won't. But you got that's
Yeah.
the best part is when
Yeah.
someone takes a left turn.
I know. No, Dean, I love Dean. Dean's podcast gold. But then sometimes I'm like, oh, it's not my cup of tea. I don't like things like underwear.
It's pewter now, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. She's podcast pewter. No,
That's
no, he's
funny.
good.
So
He's
what are
good.
you gonna do with those, Dean?
Well, I just thought it would be a good Instagram story thing.
No,
That-
it wouldn't be.
Really?
I mean, it might be. I don't know.
I think it's hysterical for the
Do you
times
see what
that
people are
for
looking
the times that you
Check out how I blew up my underwear.
blew out his underwear.
Dean, you need to study Instagram and see what's popular when people like. They're not always going to sit there and tap that and like. I could be wrong though.
Dude, I will like it.
You would
I
like
think
it?
Hoopoe
You're right
Express-
though. People are
I think
weird.
the-
Guys
the
are weird.
Theory,
There's
the theory
yeah.
that you don't have to remove when I'm talking
Oh
about when
my
you're in
God,
a
you're
massive
fi-
hurry.
Wow.
When you're in a massive hurry,
Do you only get one layer off?
And you only
can't
get
get
the
second
jeans
layer
off.
Wow.
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
you could literally go right through the
Didn't they used to make
No.
pajamas like that with the buttons on the back?
like assless chapsies or assless underwear. That's gross. Why even wear them?
So he gets so weirded out about.
But then you have the other side of you where you're like, let me ask you something kind of personal, Darren. That you just went out to the comedy store. Now, when you come home, now don't forgive me if I'm going too far.
I did say this the other night. Go ahead.
You know, that is a thing you say. Forgive me if I'm going too far.
Now,
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
go home after a night out at the comedy store, do you take a shower? I'm like, yeah, because I take. Tell me what you're saying. I take 2 showers a day.
I like to take a
Because-
shower at like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning before I go to bed.
Yeah, take a couple showers a day. You know, because the pollutants and the
Right.
You know, and the
And I'm
cat
thinking to
dander
myself,
and shit. Yeah.
doesn't this guy's wife want him to come home from
Yes.
a comedy store
Yeah.
or a factory or all these places? Take a friggin' shower,
I know.
man. You've
And
been
because he
out
was telling us his
all-
buddy takes a shower like every 2 days.
Yeah, I had
So
this
gross.
interaction the other day where I said to a friend of mine on the phone, "Hey, man, it's 3:30 in the morning. I'm drenched in sweat here from the treadmill. I got to go. I'll talk to you tomorrow, man. Where you going? I'm taking a shower right now." He goes, "You showering at 3:30 in the morning?" I go, "Yeah, I'm drenched in sweat right now." And he goes, He goes, so what? Wait till tomorrow. I said, nah, I can't. I don't feel good. I feel clammy in the
Yeah,
bed. I said, how many times? What do you take a shower? He goes, I take a shower every 2 days.
Wow.
And I go, every 2 days you take a shower? I said, that you take a shower 2 to 3 times a week? He goes, no, every 2 days. And I go, obviously long division is not your forte.
Oh, my God.
Well, you know what? He's saving water. He's
Yeah.
saving water. What does his car look like?
What does his car look like?
Yeah.
It's funny you said that. His car's disheveled.
No. Well, there
Yeah.
you go.
Disheveled. And
I
but
think his
yeah.
mind is disheveled,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
you
We're
know?
not going to say who he is,
Yeah.
but he's a character.
I have no idea who the guy is. I just said that, but
No, you know who he is.
He's talking about you, Darren.
no, it's not me. No. But
That's fine.
okay, so shower. By the way, shower. You know, I've been doing this. I got the. It's called the Wim Hof method, I guess. He's this guy who believes in, like, he takes ice baths and coldness.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I take a lukewarm shower and I make it colder and colder until it's
slowly but
cold, and
surely.
it wakes me up, man. It gets you going. It really
Yeah.
does.
You know what's
Cup of
big now
coffee.
is the cryotherapy places.
Yeah.
Minus, like, what do they put you in? Minus 40
I don't
degrees?
know. But you got to wear socks, I think, and you got to cover your.
Oh, really?
testicle
Yeah, because you
areas.
go. It's like the stand-up thing, right?
Yeah.
Where you walk in
it's a
and they put the
stand-up
cage
tube.
around
Yeah,
you,
I have a
right?
patient that does it all the time, once a week.
Really?
And he goes in there, and I think he gets down to like minus 57 degrees or something.
ridiculous.
Wow.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
And they have to monitor you to make sure that you're not going
Yeah,
into any
yeah.
kind of cardiac stuff. And
But what is the goal? What is the
the
reward?
theory
of that?
is that it just brings down the systemic inflammation of your body, otherwise known as
ibuprofen?
CRP levels.
You guys keep talking. I got to use the restroom.
Like ibuprofen.
Now we're gonna go crazy now. All right,
Bring that underwear out.
We're going
Dean.
to talk about the underwear. I think there's something there. I was
You
going
all
to
right,
call it the number 2 Express.
You got it.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I was going to call the underwear the number 2 Express, like a train in Manhattan, a subway,
Express.
which
train.
is the appropriate place to take a shit anyway.
That's funny, man.
So what? Go ahead.
I was going to ask you. Do you? So
Circumcised, yes.
yes. All right. You read my mind. So I've got like a frozen shoulder.
Okay.
For the most
I have
part.
a machine that works for it, and
That's funny. I was going to ask you because I started doing a little bit of research on it. It's been that way for a long time, but I started doing Krav Maga again, so I'm back hitting bags. And
how's
stuff,
your
and
movement? Do you have any? Can you raise it?
It's all right. I
Oh
mean,
wait, so you have to recruit every time you raise. You're recruiting your traps every time you raise your
basically,
shoulder.
yeah. So like this one's all
Oh, I'll
fine,
have
like
you-
a happy baby elephant over here.
I'll have you in no time. I've had them where they can't. They're literally stuck to the thigh.
Wow.
And I
was-
had her doing pull-ups in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what is the process on
Frozen shoulder is a very strange phenom that nobody has been able to explain. No doctor has been able to explain it.
that? It's
It's
like a sack that goes around
it's
your.
well, but hold
and it
on.
actually
We'll
glues
talk
itself
about your
together,
sack in a
right?
little while. But you could literally wake up with it one day. You don't have to do any military
what I found
presses. You
out,
don't have to do anything that jarred the shoulder. You can literally wake up one day and not be able to raise your arm off of your thigh.
And you know what's weird? Some days are better than others.
Oh
Man.
yeah.
Some days I
Yeah.
can actually, like,
Wait until you see the work I'll do on you.
really.
Yeah, I have a machine that's based on Tesla's laws of jamming frequencies. The theory that Tesla had in the late 1800s, before everything was stolen by Edison and the guy who invented the telephone.
I know that whole story.
They all stole everything from Tesla.
Yeah.
Tesla was basically Einstein. Probably, off the record, he was probably smarter than Einstein.
There was
Probably smarter.
a lot of crap went down back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They destroyed that guy. And we're talking about Tesla right now.
And shoulders.
And frozen shoulders. So the theory is, by using this machine, Tesla's theory was if I take a frequency, this was in combating disease. So if I take a frequency and it's spinning at 165, for this case, the human cells, and I take a machine that will go 165 cycles per second. Okay. The cells in the human, underneath the skin, the human cells respire at about 147 to 168 cycles per second.
I was just thinking about that.
Okay.
I was off a couple numbers. but-
And so if I take a frequency that matches that frequency, I can jam the cells in this area of his forearm that I'm touching right now, and they will literally die off. Those cells will die off. They will lose their electromagnetic ability to respire and to function. Okay, so his theories were you can kill any disease, mostly cancer, he had come up with, by jamming the frequency of the fungi that he believed, which we now know is pretty much true, that tumors are usually fungus. Okay, usually the end stage. There's 6 stages to how fungus becomes cancer.
Wow.
6 stages to it. And so Tesla knew all this stuff. Okay, Tesla was like he was on another planet. He invented electricity. You know, that whole thing with Benjamin Franklin. He's the real guy.
I love his car.
He's the guy. He's the guy that.
What's the difference?
They're in a little
No
bit of trouble
battery.
right now too, actually.
And then rock group Tesla.
But
so good.
So what I do is I have a machine that zaps at 165 cycles per second. It feels pretty good too. It's actually really relaxing, and so I will apply it to the shoulder that's dead wood right now on you. What you're having trouble raising. Looks like it's a medial delt situation going on and posterior delts,
Yeah,
but
I
you're
did the
recruiting
X-ray,
a lot.
they did the
Yeah,
MRI,
yeah.
and
And
there's
they saw nothing.
Well, there's
no
bone
tears.
spurs. There was no tears, but there
Good.
were bone spurs, and there was cartilage missing.
How's the labrum?
The first one that comes over the side.
The-
I don't know. I'd
The
have to ask.
labrum
Is the top piece, right?
The labrum is here's the ball socket.
Yeah.
Here's this ball socket. In between this ball and the socket is a sheath. Literally that literally rubs up against, keeping the socket, the ball, the humerus, from rubbing up and grinding up against the socket. Okay? So it holds it into the cuff, as in rotator cuff. All right, so here's the cuff, and the labrum is right in here. It's like a flag. It just sits there like a little flag representing your body, kind of
I'd
thing,
have to
and it
make
just
a phone
makes sure
call.
that it doesn't rub it out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why when you do shrugs, the worst thing I've seen in gyms is when people shrug, they roll their shoulders back. It's one of the worst things. Just go up.
Yeah.
Imagine your
Oh,
shoulder.
really? I thought that you're supposed to go up and then back.
The worst thing you can
Don't
do
go
is
up
your
and
shoulder.
back. Wow.
You're grinding the
Can you use the microphone, please?
Yes, I'm going to use a microphone.
the worst thing you can do is rub the
Yeah.
ball against the socket.
Huh.
You'll blow out the labrum that way over time.
Sounds
So
like
I'll show you stuff that'll blow your mind for shoulders. And I have a woman in the office.
The trick is you have to work out with him at 3 a.m. by a gas station.
I have
I've
a
got a
woman in the
woman.
office.
Yeah.
I have a woman in the office. I've been getting body work done 34 years now, around that area, since I'm about 20 years old. You know, massages a couple of times a month, blah, blah, blah. I have a girl, she's from the Philippines. She does acupressure, Thai massage, and shiatsu all in one. Very rare to find that. Shiatsu is off the charts. This woman will strip that shoulder and have that shoulder going up like that, in combination with me, of course, and my machine and everything. But she'll strip it like in 2-3 visits. She's about 19 pounds. She's about 4'9", and about 19 pounds. And you'll be begging her, hey, can you go
Lay
back
off.
a little bit? That's how.
It's freaking painful.
Oh, she's working on
Yes.
me now. I'm having a major teres minor problem. That's the muscle underneath the backside here, okay, of the shoulder. It's nothing to do, it's not the shoulder. And I got it from pull-ups. I was doing as many as 22, 23 pull-ups. I got
In a
up-
row?
I was gonna
Yeah, I
say
got up to about 22, 23.
I was going to say these are stripper injuries, right?
These are Dean Larit, 54-year-old. I can't believe I'm doing 23 pull-ups.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, we got into it.
Yeah,
Well,
I can't even-
Arnold had said in Portrait of a Bodybuilder, the pull-up is by far the greatest exercise on the planet
Yeah.
for what it recruits. And
What do you think of deadlifts? Because I know
one of the worst.
really
one of the
deadlifts
worst.
are one of the worst. Because
One
you
of
know
the worst.
Dr. Dean, from
One of
not
the worst.
Dr.
And
Dean,
we're
but
going to get
Doc-
shit about it on your podcast.
No.
People are going to say
But Dr. Drew he swears by deadlifts.
one of the
Dr.
worst
Drew.
things you can do. One of the
Really?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely one of the worst things you're going to do for your low back. I'll give you. I probably see more patients on Saturday and Sunday than most chiropractors see Monday through Friday. A good portion. Why? Deadlifting and squatting. Okay.
Well, how about CrossFit and CrossFit?
CrossFit's a great concept. It's a decent concept. the
but it
the problem, in my opinion, is there's no delineation of every person. In other words, you come in day one, you're 200 pounds overweight. they're still going to say to you, take that 135 over your head,
Right.
blah, 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 with the guy who's doing 135 over his head who's been training for years. Okay, so there's a little bit of a delineation problem there. Everybody sort of gets treated the same from what I've seen, because I've had quite a few patients come
Okay,
in.
so let's talk.
Back to the deadlift and what do you call it? Quick impression of my phone ringing every Saturday and Sunday. Peter, no shit, I'm not kidding. This is exactly what you hear. Hi, this is Dr. Dean. Can I help you? My boyfriend, it's either boyfriend/husband. My boyfriend and or husband is on the floor. Could be both sometimes. Is lying on the floor, writhing in pain. And I go like this, deadlifting or squatting. Dead silence on the phone. How do you know that what he just did? And I said, I know because there's 5 people in the waiting room with deadlifting injuries right now.
Wow.
We'll be over in 20 minutes. Thank you so much for staying open. I'm not kidding what goes on Saturdays and Sundays. So
I used to do that stuff.
the
Back in
deadlifting?
the day. Deadlift, squats.
Do you think now? What
shoulder
if you did
press.
deadlifting, but just like with a lighter weight?
Well, I was a man.
You know what I mean? Like 50 pounds.
I used to
as
be a man.
as opposed to like, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to do like deadlifting with like 200 pounds.
If you can do light weights and do the biomechanics correctly,
Yeah.
then by all means. But it's one of the easiest ways in the world to tear the bicep tendon
Yeah.
because of the position that you
Oh.
hold the arms.
Yeah.
You cannot imagine how many people tear the bicep tendon coming up.
Darren.
Okay.
Do you want to wrap this up? Do you got to go?
Let's wrap it
You
up.
feel-
You got to go to work in the morning. No, you.
Oh yeah, I gotta
yeah.
go. I mean, yeah, it's fine. But I was gonna ask you, Darren. You don't do deadlifts and stuff at the gym, do you?
You know what? I did them this week because I was like, you know what? Dr. Drew's talking about deadlifts and he's eating bacon. He's doing all this.
How much?
He's testosterone. But nobody was. I was like, you know what? I need to.
banging
And he's a medical doctor.
smoking.
I know.
And
so-
remember one
and
thing:
amazing.
there's not a medical doctor in the country that is required to take a course in nutrition.
He's a what is it? He's a board certified
He's a board
physician.
He's a good doctor, actually.
I was gonna say for Dr. Dean here, I go, hey, I could be I could be my own version of Adam Carolla, and you could be my board certified physician
All right, Adam
chiropractor.
Carolla here.
Yeah, you could be you could be the
16
Adam
inches
Carolla.
on center,
Yeah, I
hands
build
free,
stuff.
you-
I'm Peter Marr. I sound like Adam Carolla.
I have no idea how bad that
I know.
impression is right now, but
I
it's pretty bad, probably.
Yeah, but I mainly at the boxing gym, it's cardio. You know, like jabs, hitting the heavy bag, hitting the speed bag, hitting
who's
the
the
double
doctor
end
you're
bag.
taking advice from? What's his name?
Dr. Drew.
Dr. Drew. Yeah,
Dr.
yeah,
Drew.
He's good, man. He's
Yeah, but
good.
he does deadlifts, and he's like,
does deadlifts.
look how strong are my testosterone. I told my wife, I go, don't believe everything you hear though, because maybe these guys are doing like human growth, thing
You
or
never know.
testosterone. Who knows? But yeah.
And you were squatting heavy, Peter?
Back in the day, yeah.
How high did you get?
Like 400.
Oh God. See, I never tried
deadlift
it.
400. Yeah.
Oh yeah. See,
But
I was deadlifting like literally like maybe like
20s
60
on each
pounds,
side.
75
That's
pounds.
fine.
Yeah. Just
Well,
like,
back, like on the average, I would do like, what would it be, 325? Is that what it comes out to?
yeah.
3 plates on each side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
But that was, that's what you had to do when you were Johnny Be Good. You know what I mean? You had to make that money, right?
Dipsticks. Kiss and
Yeah,
tell.
and what
No,
sucks
it's called
is,
kiss and tips.
Kiss and tip.
Not kiss and tell. Kiss
That's
and
funny.
tell.
Kiss and tip.
What is this, Penn
Kiss
and
the
Gillette?
tip? Kiss
Yeah.
the tip? What?
Here, I'll show you the picture,
Oh, my God,
Peter,
we gotta see this.
of me as a male stripper. I showed this to Ray Liotta. He was hysterical.
This will be on his Instagram. Am I right? Are you gonna put it up there?
It's funny because I actually have a photo from one of my old modeling shoots, like when I first moved here, right before I first moved here.
That's me on the right.
Oh, that's funny, man.
Are you gonna put it on your Instagram?
Oh, you
Yes, I
have to,
could.
dude.
Do it,
Really?
guys. You can check it out. Look at it on Dr. Dean. What
Nice
is it?
placement of
125.
Your shirt, man.
Right, exactly.
That's cool. That's funny. The hairstyle, everything, man.
me see.
That's funny.
Those were fun days.
Which one are you?
I'm on the right. Those were fun days, man.
Dude, I'll have to show you. All right, since we're doing it.
looks like a lady.
You have pictures?
No, I just have one, and I keep it in the phone for inspiration.
Pictures on the podcast. This is
Yeah, this is
podcast
perfect.
wood, not even gold.
Gold. This
People are
is
stopping
podcast
now.
Plastic.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap up this podcast. What do you have any words of wisdom for anybody that's young? I always ask, like for younger listeners or just any fellow buddy, like anything you've learned in life or in the
Don't
entertainment, like anything you'd like to do.
Don't vote Eisenhower.
Yeah, the one thing I would say, like, I don't know, I spent a lot of time, and this sounds archaic and old, but I always spent a lot of time not living in the moment and looking for the future, like looking ahead. And just in the last few years, like after about 40. And what's weird is like I'd never pictured myself ever getting married, ever, never gonna meet her, just never gonna happen. And it happened just in the blink of an eye. It was like halfway through a lunch date. Actually, Darren, it was a show I was guest.
We did a show together.
Yeah, it was in Claremont, and I did a guest spot for you, and that's where I met her.
Was it her at
Yeah.
Flappers Claremont?
Yeah,
It was you weren't even opening. You were like doing a guest spot.
dude, I think Ken Gar
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
hosted.
Yeah.
I was doing a guest spot, and I can't remember who was the feature for you. But yeah, it was like a it was.
So
a
live in
Friday
the
night.
moment is what you're saying. Yeah.
Live in the moment, man. And then, like right now, I'm always looking to say like, oh my gosh, I gotta do this. But these are the times
I want to
that-
say something I've learned, and I've learned this from you. You know what you do really well when you're leaving? You always, besides saying goodbye, you always tell somebody like,
I love you.
no, it's better than
balls
that.
are
He's like,
biggest
he's always like, all right, man. Do you need anything? Can I help you? You're always, something like that. You're
That's
always
cool.
like,
That's
can I help you? Do you need anything? Like,
That's nice.
how can I help you? And people, it makes me want to help
That's
people
cool.
and ask them what they need. You know?
Yeah.
I
It's
did
a
that
good-
tonight with a fly.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is it leaves
Yeah.
it open, and it leaves it like, hey, just if you need anything, give me a call,
Yeah.
and if I can help.
And
you,
I
I'll
do,
help
but you never answer. But the thing is, straight to voicemail. But listen, but that's a good thing.
you. Darren.
Yeah. Boop. Swipe left.
Leaping.
Rejected. No.
No, that's the other part of it, which
Yeah.
is kind of ties into it. Like, there's certain times if I'm doing something, I try to stay fully focused on it. Like, I'll just turn the phone off, or just put it in the other room sometimes. Or if I'm out doing something, there's times where I'll actually leave the phone in the car. I've been starting to do that a little bit, just so I'm not distracted by it, because it becomes a huge distraction after a while. And then, of course, you tell me, it's like, why aren't you putting anything on Instagram right now? I'm like, I'm living the moment, dude.
I get that 26 times a day from him.
Yeah. Well, you
Dude,
know what?
it's
He's
been
on
8 minutes. How come you haven't thrown it?
Darren's
Peter's
on
good about
man.
it, though. You got you know what?
Are you putting a lot of stuff up?
No, you know what? I took about a week and a half off of it. We went to Oregon for a couple of days. We came back. Rachel, my wife, did a half triathlon. So now I'm gonna do a triathlon.
Nice.
But yeah, it's
Half
it's,
Ironman or
no, half triathlon, like the international course that she
Nice.
did. But yeah, you know what? It's basically that. No matter how old you are, no matter where you're at, you enjoy your 20s, man. Just enjoy them. Enjoy your 30s. You have
20s were tough.
Yeah, well, before you get body issues, before you get like frozen shoulders,
Right.
just do the stuff that's fun. Enjoy it. You never know, man.
No, this thing is over in the blink of an eye, man. It really is. It's just
Like I can look back to like just even while we were sitting here thinking back, like gosh, that was 1996.
Yeah.
I was an actual
it's
adult
22
back then.
years ago.
Yeah, I was an adult back then,
Yeah.
and there's been 22 years that I kind of wish I would have taken either a little more seriously or a few years that I just would have enjoyed a hell of a lot more if I would have.
Oh, I think about it all the time.
Yeah.
And I still have dreams about college. Like I still have dreams that I'm 3 credits shy of graduating, and I have to go back and I wanted to write a screenplay on it about how it was. We pulled a prank. Do we have like 3 minutes? 2.5, 3 minutes?
Yes.
We pulled a prank many years ago. We've always, my friend and I, Kent, have always been fascinated with the whole concept of 3 credits short. This one's 3 credits short of graduating and the dreams. I don't know if you have that dream where you have to go back to
I
school.
know what you're talking about. I have that once in a
And
while.
so one day we decided to call my friend Kent's friend who owned like 5 automotive repair shops in Long Island and was filthy rich, the whole deal. And we called this guy's mother. His name was Mitch Cooper, was the guy. And we called the mother, who was, Rosalind Cooper, whatever her name was. And we get on the phone, and I did all the talking. It was a 3-way conversation on the phone. And
Kind of like this podcast.
no, that's not true.
I'm joking.
Not at all. That's
I'm
not
joking.
nice. And so we call up, and I said, "Hi, my name is Alan Levine. I work in the custodial department at the New York State Higher Education in Albany, and we've been cleaning out a certain portion of Francis Lewis High School. Is that where your son went?" And she goes, "Yeah." Okay, Jewish woman, like late 70s back then. Okay, and called her in the middle of the afternoon, 2:30, 3 o'clock. And you have her son Mitchell Cooper, and she goes, "Yeah, well, what's going on here?" Okay, and I said, relax. It's nothing to worry about, Mrs. Cooper. I assume Mrs. Cooper. Yes. Well, we have cleaning out records, and we are going over old report cards and transcripts. And apparently, your son Mitchell did not pass. Did not pass 12th grade Spanish. Okay, and he has to come back to get he's one class short in summer school. What are you talking about? He owns 5 automotive repair shops. He's 47 years old. He's not going back. But you don't understand, Mrs. Cooper. If he ever decides to go back to medical school, he doesn't legally have the college, the high school diploma that we issued.
Oh, boy.
Okay? Oh, this is true.
That's
and
awesome.
she is screaming on, are you fucking out of your mind? He lives in Roslyn Heights.
Yeah.
He's got 3 children he's putting through school. He's not going back for Spanish in the summer. Como se llamo? We're going to build a wall. And so I
That's
have always been
hilarious.
fascinated with this concept of writing. And it's not back to school Rodney Dangerfield. I have been fascinated with the screenplay that I was going to write was a doctor, a world-class surgeon, Columbia Presbyterian, wherever in Manhattan, gets this letter in the mail that there was a mistake made when he was a stoner and when he was getting high in high school. You know, not every single doctor on the planet was a straight-laced person. You know, they got their shit together later on in life, okay? And this guy becomes a world-class surgeon, brain surgeon, and he gets this letter in the mail that he has to go back. But here's the thing. He's world-class surgeon, has the beautiful penthouse in Manhattan, the wraparound penthouse, $4 or $5 million a year doing brain surgery, but he's missing one thing, love. He doesn't have any love in his life. And the reason that the unit, and you know what happens, he falls in love with the teacher that's teaching summer school.
There
Okay.
it is.
And
I fell in love
and I
with
just basically gave away to the entire fucking planet a beautiful screenplay. That's
Well,
really,
you know what that is?
That's
You
really
just-
dumb what I just did.
You know
Can
what?
we?
You just copywrote it.
Oh,
Yes.
seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're actually right.
Yeah.
In theory,
Yeah.
I have a case now, right?
You do have a
Yeah.
Somebody, if that movie's made.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here first,
yeah.
folks, on the
All right,
Pocket
very
Party
cool.
podcast.
Here, I've
Peter
got a few
Marr,
ideas.
not only.
I've got a few ideas that I want to lay out there right now.
All right, here's an idea.
No,
it's
that-
called
I guess you're
Nailed
right
It.
in
We
a way
build
that
stuff, and
this
then
would
we...
be this would be a judge would listen to this.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to be like, I don't know what that shit was that you guys were talking about for the first hour and a half.
Dipsticks and lipsticks.
But I mean, I was interested. Now, what's this dude looks like a lady stuff? Where,
And you guys are
where
showing
does that
pictures
come
of each
from?
other on your phones, but afraid to put them on Instagram. And
Right. And this whole thing about Stockholm syndrome with
The
mosquitoes.
fly.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyways, well, you guys
All
are
right.
great. Thank
It
you
was
for
a lot
the
of
advice.
fun.
So,
Thank
Peter,
you
that's
for
the
having us.
advice. Be in the moment. Live in the moment.
Yeah.
Dean, I'm afraid to ask if you have any advice because it'll
Nah.
take us another half hour.
No.
And I love your advice. Do you have any last words of advice?
Pretty much like Peter,
Yeah.
stay in the friggin' moment, man. This
Yeah.
thing is over so friggin' quick, man. Just enjoy the ride. It's really a friggin' marathon and a journey. And I tell you that quite a bit because I see how somehow a little anxious you can be about this.
Yeah.
You know? And believe me, we're all a little bit, I don't want to use the word jealous, we're all a little envious that we're not going out on September 8th at the Greek Theater in front of 7,500. Sebastian Maniscalco is. And he deserves it, and he's fantastic, and he's
Yeah.
amazing. But we all have that little thing in us. Why not me? Okay? We all have that little thing. But enjoy the journey, man, because if you're going to do that to yourself about every Sebastian and every Bill Burr and every this one and every this star, this guy's just, you drive yourself freaking crazy. Absolutely crazy. And
Yeah.
that was sort of told to me by Andrew Dice Clay, actually.
Nice.
You know, he laid me into that one night.
Just enjoy where you're
I know
at,
that
man.
sounds a little weird. He laid me into-
Hey, don't be jealous of me.
Oh!
Hey.
No, he sort of told me that. He said to me, worry about yourself.
Yeah.
Don't worry about these
Because you're
things.
probably asking a bunch of questions and shit.
I was asking him
How
questions.
much do you
one night.
make exactly? Hey, worry about yourself.
Dicey, what kind of money are you making? No, I asked him a couple of questions, and one of those things was
Leave us with that. What did
Yes,
you
good
do? What
night.
did you ask him? No, what did you ask him?
I was frustrated about certain things, and I said, I can't get into the store, and it's always tough to get into some of these clubs, and blah blah blah. Keep doing what you're doing. keep writing jokes, keep telling jokes, and don't worry about all these other people around you. He goes, you're never gonna have any control over that.
I like this. You know what? This is a new segment. I'll ask you advice as a person. So that was a great dice. So now, Rocky, if you were to tell my listeners some advice as we leave the Pocket Party podcast, Rocky.
Time.
What would you?
What the hell do you want?
Hey, man, I was talking with your man Mike outside. He says you looking for a sparring partner. Some guys came by looking for a sparring partner for Creed.
Yeah, they came by looking for a sparring partner for Creed.
Yeah, put me on him.
Did you fight last night?
Yes, I fought last night.
How'd you do?
KO in the third.
Yeah? Who'd you fight?
Spider Rico.
He's a bum. Everybody you...
All right, go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So what would your advice be, Rocky? Rocky, what would your advice be to my Pocket Party listeners?
It was like a monologue
I just
from
said,
Waiting for Guffman right
be
there.
in the friggin' moment.
No, Rocky,
Oh.
not you, Dean. Rocky. Sylvester Stallone. All right, let me. You know, Peter gets
No, I'll
it.
tell you.
Donald
I'll do
Duck.
it.
What's
I'll
your
do it.
advice,
Yeah,
Donald
we're
Duck?
not
Do it,
bringing
you do
Donald
it.
Duck out on this.
See if you can go.
Do it. Just give me a quick Donald Duck advice. What would your advice be, Donald?
See if you can go to distance. Nobody's ever gone to distance with Creed. All I want to do is go to distance. Nobody's ever gone to distance with Creed. I mean, come on, Adrian. Who am I? I'm just a ham and egger. Nobody cares about me.
Go the distance. So go the distance.
That's it.
Go the distance. Go the
friggin'
distance, right?
That's it. Go the distance.
He's true though. He's true in right in life with comedy.
Go the distance.
Go the distance
It's a
with
friggin'
whatever you're doing.
marathon,
Go
man.
the
Yeah.
distance.
It's a friggin' marathon.
People give up too quick. They
Look at Rodney
you know.
Dangerfield. Rodney Dangerfield was selling aluminum siding. He had walked away from this. Okay, a lot of people don't know this. Rodney didn't get hot until 53, 54 years old. People think Rodney Dangerfield, he was hot for many. No, Rodney didn't get hot till 53 years old. Rodney Dangerfield walked away and became an aluminum siding salesman. Okay. And
Okay.
And then one night
Yeah.
he was sitting at a bar with a couple of comics, and he just started saying, he goes, I'll tell you, I get no respect at the house. And he started rattling off these things, and the guy next to him said, "That's it. That's your hook." What are you talking about, my hook? And he goes, "That's your hook. That's your whole thing." And that's what happened. He started writing jokes around that hook, and that was it.
Wow.
That was it.
53 years old, huh?
He got hot at 53.
I
He
knew he
walked
was old,
away.
but
That's
damn.
cool.
Yeah.
Go the distance.
Walk
Go
away
the
from
distance.
aluminum siding.
Nobody's
That's what
ever
he
gone
said.
the distance with Creed. You know.
Be in the moment and go the distance. Can I just tell you? I heard Dennis Blair. Is that the guy who opens for George Carlin?
He did. He opened for Blake.
I just heard-
and I featured for him.
Well, I just heard him on Fraser Smith's radio show, and he opened for Rodney. And Fraser was asking him questions, and he goes, "What was it like working for George Carlin?" He goes, "I opened for him for 20 years. Great guy, nice guy. We would talk in the car on the way to the gig, but then we, give each other space or whatever." He goes, "He was great." Now, Rodney would want to hang out all the time, but he made it sound like Rodney wasn't that happy.
No. Rodney Dangerfield he comes from a very, very poor childhood, a very bad childhood, and he was a little bit lost in the head. He was not a happy guy.
Do drugs and stuff,
Rodney Dangerfield used to smoke pot in Cantor's. He would walk around in Cantor's Deli with a joint in his mouth. And I would see, when I managed Melrose Improv 90 through 93, he would come in a bathrobe. He would come in a bathrobe, smoke pot in the friggin' place. No cop was going to say anything to Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
Nobody was going to say anything. And first off, nobody in the Improv was going to call the cops.
Right.
And even if the cops came in, "Oh, it's Rodney, man. Are you kidding? Can I get a picture with you guys? Can I get an autograph?" Nobody was
So
telling-
it's so weird that he finally made it, but he wasn't happy.
Brother, Darren,
there's no-
what
you
do
know-
I always tell you when I sit and tell you? I said, I have a
Go
few
the
bucks these
distance.
days.
Go the
No.
distance.
I say I have a few dollars these days. A, because I'm single and I haven't had to put braces on kids and send kids to law school and to medical school and to all this other shit. So I have a few dollars these days. Don't say where I live. But I have
Wealthy bachelor.
Right.
You live in a bat cave.
Exactly.
People are like, you know what?
I am
They're like,
not
we
the
don't.
Just
They're
Googled
like, we
you.
don't want to know where he lives. There's a couple roaches. There's flies.
He's got a mosquito.
Yeah.
He's
There's
got a
horse
mosquito
fly.
named Saul.
Yeah.
No, but I'm not the slightest bit happier. I always thought, you get a few bucks, man. All money does is give you options, but that's it. That doesn't make you happy at all. So what I would like is I would like Sam Tripoli saying, ladies and gentlemen, good buddy of mine decided to show up tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Larit, and then the place goes crazy, like the clip I saw tonight of Sam Tripoli introducing Bill Burr on stage the other night on Tuesday night. That's what I want. So what? A few dollars, big deal. I'm not happy.
That doesn't give you the thrill.
No, absolutely not. Because here's the kicker.
Yeah.
All three of us in this room know what that feeling feels like on that stage. Okay, all three of us have been recipient to big laughs and applause breaks. Okay,
I had that happen once.
I've had it happen quite a few times in 30 years doing this, and this.
Peter, have you had that happen yet?
You get applause breaks at jerks, yeah.
Doing comedy or back in the stripping days?
Back in the stripping days, they would be.
Stop.
I would do like
Stop.
the splits.
You're killing us.
I would do the splits and be like, "Oh, that's so good." So
Could you really do the
9.7.
splits?
No way.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, is that sexy for dudes to do the splits? look what I can do! Oh my god, I landed on my testes! Ta-da! Wow, you guys made it through another episode of the Pocket Party Podcast all the way to the very end, and I really, really do appreciate that. And as I go to that boxing gym and I train extra hard and I try to lose this weight, like I said I was going to do, I have to laugh because one of the things that the trainers tell the boxers when they leave, there's this one trainer, Coach Stan Ward. He'll say, shout out to everybody at the boxing gym that's listening to this, by the way. Coach Stan Ward will tell the boxers, all right now, don't hurt nobody. And then the next guy will leave, okay, we'll see you Monday, don't hurt nobody. And then when I leave, be careful. Thank you guys once again for listening to the Pocket Party Podcast. The best thing you can do is tell a friend, share the link, give a review on iTunes. Throw a little money here and there if you want to. You can do that. You don't have to, but if you'd like to, whatever. Be like, think of it as, hey, I'm buying Darren a cup of coffee, or maybe 2 cups of coffee. There you go. Anyways, we'll see you guys next week, and I appreciate everything you've done. And get out there, don't hurt nobody, and be careful.